7, 6, 5, 4. We've got smoke. 3. We've got ignition. 2, 1. We've got RIP takeoff, y'all. We're black. That's right, I said it. We are black. We in the building. This is Mouthpiece included, you guys. Y'all know what we do. We talk politics every show. All show. Please take this time, if you do not mind, to like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. We would totally appreciate if you guys can do that for us. All righty. All right, so let's get into it. Let's see where we're at. Jim. Politics, y'all. Y'all know what politics is. That's a fusion of sports and politics. It's a fusion of sports and politics. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. And we're going to cover everything in between. I'm your host, 9 Millie, one of the hosts. And I'm joined by the co-host, Big Ace, and any urban Silverback Gorilla who still may have the gonads to pull up. Gonads. What is Stockholm Syndrome, you ask? It's a psychological phenomenon where victims of captivity and or abuse develop positive feelings towards their captors and or abusers. It's named after a bank robbery.
We were talking about that warrior transition.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, it's named after a bank robbery in Stockholm, Sweden in 1973, where 4 hostages defended their kidnappers and refused to testify against them. Now, I want to make a note here. Those hostages were not black. None of those people were black. Because I feel like, they would have been threatened and the law would have been whittled into, if you don't testify against them, you're going to be charged as an accessory. Yeah. Co-conspirator. But what does any of this have to do with the Super Bowl, you may ask? The biggest sporting event in the history of America. Well, some critics argue that African Americans who watch or participate in the Super Bowl are suffering from a form of Stockholm Syndrome because we are supporting a system that exploits, oppresses, and devalues us as a folks. That's right. They devalue us as a folks. That's right. They point out that the NFL is predominantly white-owned and it's a controlled league that has a history of racism, discrimination, violence against black players and communities. They also claim that the Super Bowl is a distraction from real issues that could be affecting African Americans, such as police brutality, Colin Kaepernick, mass incarceration, economic inequalities, and health disparities. On the other hand, some defenders of the Shield argue that it's a celebration of black excellence, talent, and culture that showcases the achievements and contributions of African American athletes, coaches, entertainers, and activists. They also say that the Super Bowl is a source of joy, pride, and unity for millions of so-called black fans here in so-called America who have a right to enjoy the game without guilt or shame. So who is right? Who is wrong? Is the Super Bowl a symptom of Stockholm Syndrome out there? Or is it a sign of self-empowerment for black African Americans? We're moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment with a 78-inch TV on the wall. We're moving on up to the east side. I finally got a piece of the shine. Ooh. All right. Now, how should we as black people approach the Super Bowl and its implications for our identity and struggle? These are some of the questions that we'll explore in today's episode out there. We'll also discuss the latest news and updates from the world of politics, so stand down, stand back, stand by, or pull up. If you do pull up, don't forget to. Oh, I may or may not have forgotten to bring my mouthpiece. Don't forget to. On here. Don't forget to. Yep. Don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. I'm going to pin the link in the chat shortly so anybody can jump up. So we do appreciate your patience. You know, we're winging it here. Scottie Pippen. All right. All right, enough of my nonsense. Let's go ahead and get Big Ace in the building. Jackie Robinson's finest. Back from traveling across the United States. You know what I mean? This guy is not going to stay confined to the south side of Chicago like there's some sort of walls locking him in there, just talk shit about black people all day. He's not going to do that.
No, we started this country, and we're going to end this country.
What's going on, man? Tell me what's been going on and where you been, and tell us about your Pookie chain there. I see you got your Pookie chain.
Well, this is my wife's Pookie chain. I just thought to wear it for the show. You know, I had a great time at the biggest marketing event of the year. My son's got his MBA with a master's in business marketing.
So, your son's in the NBA?
No, he's got an MBA with a master's in business marketing.
Hey, big ups, man! Congrats on that, man.
So I see the I guess the verbiage of what the Super Bowl could be or is versus what it is and what it shall be. You know, it's a big marketing ploy for the NFL. It's their biggest extravaganza for the year. They do it for
extravaganza.
They do it for 17 weeks out of the year called the regular season.
You know, it's like when your church would have a cotillion and, you know, the big bake sale and all the ladies and sisters and mothers cook their favorite, their best thing and go in the kitchen and they charge you for a plate. And then you know what I mean? Yeah.
They're putting that money together for the churches
to build nonsense. Yeah.
No. You know, they have a meeting with all the bishops around the country, and you know, your bishop got to be finely dressed and
Oh, no, you're right. You're talking about the convocation. Oh yeah, he got to go in style, and we want the bishop to go first class, and we don't want our bishop to be in a little room at the Motel 6. Our bishop got to be
in the Four Seasons, absolutely. With his limousine, picking them up and taking them to the meetings and conferences before.
And you tell your landlords of your shithole apartments that you'll just pay the late fee this year. You know how right? I'm paying the late fee. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but you're paying a late jacket. But you're getting the late fee. But you're. Yeah, all right, but go ahead, bro. My bad. God bless our people. I love us.
God bless us. You know, I got to pay my tithes. So my bishop and my extra time. I mean, my extra communication. My extra fee, so the bishop can get there and represent our facility, our church, our congregation. So you know, God bless the bishop and the church and the family, and then, you know, it's all part of the marketing scheme that leads to the big game. So I had a great time at the big game in Vegas. Yeah, I didn't buy a T-shirt though. I didn't buy much. I went to Walmart and got a couple things, but you know, they weren't charging the NFL prices. But I had a good time. Wu-Tang Clan, saw Cool in the Gang, saw a couple other concerts. Uncle Nearest. We went to we'll get onto all of this, but I went to a liquor store signing, and the young lady that is one of the CEOs of Uncle Nearest was
the black lady who spearheaded everything and got all the funding and everything and connected all the dots.
Yeah, it was two of them.
Okay.
So there's
you're right. There was a younger one and an older one, right?
Yeah, the older one was at this store, and she signed our. Where's the bottle at? But she signed our bottle of Uncle Nearest, and you know, we went into the story, and you know, it was pleasure meeting us.
Are you going to drink Are you going to drink the contents of the bottle and just save the empty bottle? Or are you going to just keep the whole bottle up there? And I mean,
Eventually, I am. I always drink the bottle. I don't give a damn who signs it. But
Yes.
yeah,
He's gonna pookie it. You
yeah,
guys heard it right here. He's gonna pookie the bottle.
yeah.
Save that, bro. Leave it for later, man. Couple generations. You have this in the family. Jesus Christ, don't drink that. You can get another bottle of it, bro. You know what I mean?
I
Hey,
got a bottle on the damn bar with my signature on it. I'm damn sure gonna drink that
of
bottle too
course you're gonna drink that.
before I'm gone. Well, you mean my signature doesn't mean as much as the damn lady from I
Nobody,
don't know from Uncle
nobody in
Mary?
your family, none of your lineage would care about that. It's not gonna have the same value as this lady's here. May or may not. You know what I mean? All with all due respect, no disrespect
But
intended.
damn it, I believe my bottle's worth more than her damn bottle with but it was a pleasure meeting her
Hey,
and
wait, we got a Ray Ray out here. We got Ray Motri. He says, no affiliation, only Black American. Usher halftime so. Yeah, I bet he liked it when Usher took his shirt off. I bet that's the only thing. You liked it when he took his
like
shirt off, Court? I bet you that's
it
what
like
Court
it
said.
like this glistening chest out
Uh,
there on the
uh,
for the world to see. Yeah, no.
he said Bears passing on Caleb Williams. I see what he did. Little double entendre there.
No.
Bears passing on. So they're staying with JF1, huh?
Is that what Fox News says?
I think that's what Fox News is saying because that's what Mochi's reporting. He repeats everything Fox says.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's one thing Fox has said. Mochi, and clarify that. Give us a time when you've disagreed with Fox News. Right? Seriously. Give us one time where you were like, oh, I don't agree with that.
Allegedly. You don't agree with
Yeah. He said he would pass on Caleb too.
since
Bears
when?
trading down to 2 for Drop Dead Gorgeous, Pink QB, and trade Fields and get Harrison Jr. And he
Oh,
said, God bless America. Go ahead, fella. Pull up,
that
coach. What the fuck?
that definitely sounds like Fox News. They're gonna pass on Caleb Williams for the
Pull
yeah.
up, coach. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Ace.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck.
It made me lose my damn train of thought with that crap he came from Fox News he just came in here with. But like
Well, I
like
mean, Caleb's not high on the spectrum. Nobody's going to convince me of that. But one thing I do when I look at Caleb, he's got a quicker release than JF1.
sure. Allegedly.
He's more accurate than JF1.
Allegedly.
I mean, no, I'm seeing it. Now, did I watch JF1 in college where I would have something to compare? No. Okay. Now, but now he holds the ball and his processor. I mean, but he's quicker getting rid of it, but he's not as fast, but he's elusive. There's times when I'm like, JF1, damn, didn't you see that dude standing there? I mean, let's just talk honestly. But he does hold that ball and he's not getting it out of his hands quick because he knows he's a gifted athlete.
Yeah, you're comparing college Caleb Williams to NFL JF1.
Mm-hmm.
Now in college, JF1 had
Mm-hmm.
an offensive line and players.
I said I didn't watch him in college, but go ahead, bro. I mean, I did throw that out there, but go ahead, bro. No, I want to hear this.
They had an offensive line and players that were running around wide open, just like the Caleb Williams kid that has out there at USC. And, he didn't have to hold the ball long, or if he wanted to
or he
take off,
could hold it. Yeah.
yeah, he could hold it for,
Yeah.
5-10 seconds and
Yeah.
let the guy run all the way to the end
Yeah.
zone,
True.
throw him the damn ball wide open. But, this is the NFL.
And he's in the air raid system. Nobody's commenting on that, man. Like, so you see when he didn't play a couple games, the bum who came off the bench behind him had the same numbers. Numbers.
Yeah, and I've heard not many, but I had a couple pundits that exposed that. Like, yeah, he's playing in this air raid system, which doesn't really translate to the NFL.
No, nobody's going to run that in the league.
Yeah, because you got cornerbacks out there that's getting paid to make sure that doesn't work, and safeties and defensive coordinators and guys that can break down that system with them.
And 3 techs.
Yeah. They're not gonna let you just stand back there and hold the damn ball and toss it to. And you got defensive coordinators spying for these quarterbacks that are mobile. So, the fact that people think that the Bears are going to draft
The Bears.
a younger version of a quarterback that they already have just to save money is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, he's smaller, he's shorter, he's slower. You keep coming with this generational talent crap.
Yeah, but they both. I mean, I don't know if he had Phil's this
They
fashion designer or Phil's put on that
it feels doesn't paint
lipstick.
his
What's he
nails.
putting on? Well, not lipstick. What's he doing?
Paint his
Paint his
nails.
painting his nails and crying in his coach's
Yeah,
lap.
yeah, they
I
don't do
mean,
that
you
in
know what I
Chicago.
mean. If they they both got a little something in them.
Yeah,
That's
they don't
all
do
I'm
that.
saying.
They don't do that in Chicago. The fashion thing, that's he'll he'll
People
get
do dress. People do dress flashy in Chicago. Chicago be acting funny about Phil's dress, but they know they like it.
yeah. I mean, he'll get
Mhm.
another designer soon. I don't
The
know.
youth be wearing that kind of shit in Chicago. I've seen it. Go
He's
ahead.
from he's from Georgia, so I think the
Right,
design is probably from Atlanta.
right.
But he'll that'll change as he progresses. As he gets to two
Okay.
hundred as he gets a $200 million bag, I don't think he's going
Uh-huh.
to be coming out with the
Uh-huh.
with
With
the
the
with the
flamboyant gear.
with his nipples out on the press conferences anymore. Yeah, so I don't think that's going to happen. But I, JF1 is here to stay.
JF1.
We're here to build the team.
Build the whole team around them.
I've been saying this since
You
people
have. You've been consistent.
people have been asking me for months. What are we going to
Months.
do with this pick? We're going to trade the pick. We're going to build the team.
Yeah, well,
My,
I've been on it too. You've been I'm going to take phone calls type of guy.
well, I'm
I'm not
always
even
taking
taking phone.
phone calls,
Listen, if it's me, I'm clearing it up from the beginning.
but
Listen, I
that's
don't have to sit around here and make people think there's a chance. There's a chance that I'm leaving my wife. You know what I mean? Oh, and I
yeah,
can negotiate better out here in the open market. No, no, no. I love my wife. I'm happily married. You know what I mean? And damn it, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And why wouldn't you just come out front and say that and just move? I know you're like, well, you want to be able to negotiate. Bottom
yeah,
line is, if somebody wants that pick and they think he's a generational player, like a la Peyton Manning, a la I like to mention colors here, a
man,
la
man,
Randall Cunningham, a la Warren Moon. If he's
yeah.
a generational player, bro.
Those were our generational picks. Those are colors.
All right, go ahead. I mean, I'm just. You're right. You're right. But
Yeah.
now I am concerned because I think they'll tear him down too because he is colored. At the end of the day, they're
Well,
going
he's
to tear
not.
Caleb down.
It doesn't matter. He's not coming to Chicago. Oh, you mean
So,
as far
well,
as
no, you brought it up. Well, who you think he's because ATL needs a quarterback and
yeah,
Washington.
yeah. Everybody needs a quarterback. Washington is our best trade option because they have the 2 pick. We can move down, get the number 1 pick next year, and also go ahead and get our Marvin Harrison kid here. So we're running around with DJ Moore and Marvin Harrison, whoever we pick up in free agency. But
Magic Johnson was able to get that coach away from the Raiders. They said Magic's working his magic, baby, out there negotiating with his 0.00003% of a share.
yeah, Magic's got he's got pictures, and he's he's a warm owner. 0.330, 0.7.6%
Yeah, but he put
owner.
together that Lakers team that won that bubble title.
Yeah, the Lakers, the
Asterisk, asterisk,
Dodgers,
asterisk,
and
asterisk. Yeah,
the Dodgers and the Commanders. I mean, if
yeah.
you want a figurehead out there like
Figurehead.
Lady Marmalade, what was that lady from Boomerang? Lady Eloise.
I
You
don't know.
you bring Magic Johnson. Yeah, go back
That
and watch
motherfucker said,
Boomerang.
"Lady Marmalade, you've been out in New Orleans too long."
Lady Eloise from the Boomerang movie that Eddie
All right.
Murphy had.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh yeah, yeah. I know
yeah,
exactly what you're saying. I love
yeah, yeah,
high. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Put your
yeah,
mama on the phone. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You bring Magic Johnson in there and make him part owner. You know, everything, everything. No, you're thinking about Sunshine. He's
Oh yeah,
Sunshine
I'm thinking
too.
about Sunshine. Yeah, I'm thinking
Uh,
about Sunshine, bro.
Lady
That's a
Eloise was the one that
that shot dude in the foot.
no, Eddie Murphy had to sleep with. He thought he was going to make himself the president of the company, and
Oh yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah, it didn't work.
I'm gonna have to watch that again. That movie's underrated. It was at the time I watched it, and looking back on it,
Star-studded.
one of the best movies I've ever seen. Bottom line, and I don't watch it enough.
Star-studded.
But
Yeah.
they don't. You see, they don't put that out there where you could just happen to catch it where you're flicking through channels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I only watch black. black movies. So
It's hard. You can't say black anymore.
yeah. Well, colored movies. I only watch most of those from the I watch them
Yeah.
over and over. Like the Love Jones. That's a beautiful movie from Chicago. The Boomerang. The those are the type of films that I watch over and over again, as opposed to going in the wind with the God bless the maid that won the Oscar. But yeah,
Yeah. Hey,
that's
coach
how
said
that's how I
he
was
said
brought
he
up.
heard the Super Bowl tickets were $10,000 minimum.
Okay, I
That's what
went
he
to
heard.
party. I went to party. I have no idea how much the damn tickets cost. I wasn't going to no damn game. Shit. I was at my cousin's house who had a, a house
Uh,
worth a few $1,000,000,
man,
and we
they
were
be
all
having
sitting at
nice
the.
cribs in Vegas, nice little backyard,
Oh man,
bro,
I'm gonna send you the pictures of the
with the
mountain that
fire feature. Yeah, my wife's family got some property out. I got some family with property out there too. Yeah, you get some nice house. Prices going up right now though, because the Californians moving out there running the prices up.
Yeah. Well, he got in early, and
Mm-hmm.
the backdrop
Mm-hmm.
of the balcony and their bedrooms is a big ass mountain
Mm-hmm.
in this gated community. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a wonderful place to watch the game, smoke a cigar.
Yeah,
If
great
you
at
want,
night, ain't it? Nighttime, boy, the
oh
sun go
my
down.
god,
You just
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh, it was unbelievable just driving up to his house. So I have no idea what the damn tickets cost because I wasn't paying it.
Right.
We had a great time.
It was Vegas.
Yeah, it's Vegas. Why
Well,
the
you
hell?
ain't telling me nothing about Doc Rivers, coach. And as you know, I'm on the record
Yeah.
for years. And you
Hmm.
know, I support my black men and black coaches.
Hmm.
Doc Rivers is a horrible coach.
Absolutely. I mean, and his players will tell you that.
I've been on the record for years, though, even when he was winning chips in Boston.
Yeah, but who's not going to win a chip with the Truth and Ray Allen and the Big Ticket and
They
the
won in
kids?
spite of him.
Right.
Look at what the Clippers are doing now that Doc's not in charge.
Yeah. Yeah.
The old players are healthier. They're top of the West. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Coach, I didn't go to Vegas to go to the game, and when I go to New Orleans next year, unless I'm blessed with, the way I'm going to get in next year, no, I didn't go. I'm not going to go to the game, but I'll attend media day. I'll attend the parties. I'll attend all the different festivities that this marketing event that's set up by the NFL every year to enjoy their big their big game. So that's what I'm going.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got any baseball news? Because I don't.
Baseball, yeah, pitchers and catchers report.
All right.
Yeah, I was happy to find out that the A's are moving to Vegas, and they're building a stadium right on in the strip where the old Tropicana is going. I guess going to be torn down, and they're going to build a
Hey, tearing
baseball
down the
stadium.
Tropicana, I could have made a museum out of that. Everybody goes to
Yeah,
Vegas to go to museums.
yeah, we'll go there and get some bricks from the Tropicana because it's going to be gone.
I mean, that's a
By
great business plan. People are going to Vegas to go to the museums.
by 2028, it's going to be a baseball stadium there, and the Oakland A's are going to be the Las Vegas A's. They got the A's, they got the Las Vegas Aces. Yeah, I got to go out there and get me an NBA franchise.
You
Uh,
definitely got to start buying those jerseys at minimum.
yeah, yeah, they already took the damn Aces away
You know
from
what I
me.
mean?
Now you're gonna have the Las Vegas A's. Oh boy, yeah, I got to figure out something. So
Hey, that might be the universe nudging you to do what a lot of Chicagoans do. Sell out,
yeah.
pack up, and go west, baby.
I sure
Uh-huh.
wanted. The show didn't want to come back home, but had to go work. But I'm working on my package to get on out there and
Oh
be
yeah,
fruitful
you
in Vegas.
can't exactly put in for a transfer, although you should be able to. Although
Yeah,
in this world, you know what I mean. You
yeah,
should, yeah, it should carry
yeah,
over. Yeah, I mean, come on,
I'm gonna work something out.
it should, but it
I'm
doesn't.
gonna I'm gonna work something out. Get out there to Vegas. I mean, the streets are lined with gold, and I think I need some of that gold. Oh, sure.
All right, all right. Well,
We got to
Bulls, you
get.
got anything on the Bulls, bro? They've been showing some signs flirting around with that ninth seed. Flirting with it.
I'm pretty upset about the exclusion of Kobe White at this weekend's All-Star
Oh, you think he was
festivities.
snubbed?
Maybe not for the game, but the skills competition. There's no way he shouldn't have been in. Even the 3-point contest.
He needs to cut his hair and make himself look more presentable. That's his problem.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, coach is going to agree with me.
He's got too much hair on his head.
There's too much going on up there, and America don't want to see that.
They don't want to see all that.
No.
1970s
dreadlocks and
Black Panther Afro-ish type propaganda.
Not at the All-Star game, bro. Yeah. You know, the Drop Dead Gorgeous they don't want to see that.
Yeah, that kid should have been there, either in the skills competition or the 3-point competition. Maybe, you know, they were holding him off till next year, but I believe he should have been a participant.
I bet you $1 Zach LaVine will be healthy as soon as the trade deadline passes.
Oh, absolutely. He'll be doing well. They say he's out for the season, allegedly. We'll see what happens on the other side.
I swear to look, if there's anybody from the Bulls organization listening, you guys, I'll consult with you via Zoom. Mm-hmm. All right, for $15 a session. I'll give you guys 15-minute sessions. You know what I mean? Once a day. And we'll see if we can't get you. I can get you from a 9th seed to a 4th seed.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Ace will tell you, I was team get rid of LaVine a long time ago. First of all, he's too high yellow. He's borderline ginger. Yeah. He doesn't say anything. I've never heard him say anything off the cuff. You know what I mean?
Especially before you gave him this damn max contract. It's an albatross to the team that we can't get rid of.
When he wanted to go out there and be courted by the other teams.
Mm-hmm. That is fancy tickled by other teams. Nobody wanted to tickle his fancy, so he came back here and you still had the damn deal on the table. No, that deal's gone.
Hey, Belinda, enjoy your breakfast. He said, I'm out at breakfast with wife. We still Valentine, just got out of church. I'm Lutheran. Yeah, he's a Lutheran. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Played in the Lutheran League.
Yeah. And, my son went to that school. Big Joe and Little T. But you know, they start showing their colors with a Little T when my wife was teaching at the school, but never you mind.
Well,
they didn't like her buoyancy and spirit and ability to guide the youth of today to be young
leaders. To be no, they don't like that. We create employees around here. Middle management. You're
a king. King of queens? No.
These little N-words are gonna be taking our jobs. You keep this up. We'll have to retire at 65. We can't work till we're 80.
Right. So yeah, we had to leave. Oh my gosh, we had to leave. Yeah, they wanted Deuce to what was he in there? He was
Big ups, Deuce.
Deuce was in kindergarten, and they wouldn't let him graduate because of his birthday. And they said he needed to do another year in kindergarten because of his age, even though he was helping the other kids in class.
That's all right. Yeah, boy, I wish I was there with you. I'd be like, Ace, this is the universe telling you. You know what I mean? Because I know y'all are educators and, you know, degreed family, and the wife would be like, you know, now we pushing education, but I'd have been like, listen, boy, hey, I would have poked my lips out. I'd have been Pookie, boy. You listen to these white people. These white people know what's best for us. We're gonna hold them back. You want to hold them back 2 years? Boy, my son would have graduated high school at 19 and a half. Nigga. This motherfucker's already done 2 stretches in the county jail, but you know what I mean? I hear you. Like that, boy, that was a blessing in disguise.
I know that's your take on things.
Me and Tori been telling you that because we was both young when we grew.
Yeah. I know y'all burn.
But go ahead, bro.
Only in America, baby. But socially, no, you can't. You
But I
can't
know
say.
what you're saying. Your son was like showing all of the leadership and doing the work. This is the
Yeah.
one you want to hold back because it's colored.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, you hold back the kid that got lips open for real.
And it's a conditioning. But I know your point. Like, no. My family, we're not a holdback family. Don't y'all start that shit. Right.
Yeah.
Don't start that shit. Yeah, I know what you're saying. No, this ain't that. This ain't that. Right.
So we took him to another school where a friend of my sister's was the principal,
Yeah.
Catholic school. I won't mention the name.
Is the principal some sort of color?
Yeah, she was a color. They went
Yeah.
to they went to
Probably don't pay her taxes and
they went to high
tickets
school
and
together, and I
registration.
think they did a little college together. Whatever. But yeah, we told her the situation, how we want our son into first grade or whatever grade he was going to then at the time. She's like, no, we got to hold him back. He can't do this, that, and the other because what the archdiocese, and they might come review our files, and uh, they're gonna do what? You this is a tuition based school, right?
I know they try to get more money too.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we gotta need more money out of you guys.
Yeah, okay, I understand. So then I went by myself because it was my sister's friend. Then I
Yeah.
went back with my wife, and
Yeah.
it was the same narrative. And then they calling us to, a couple of days. The teacher calling us like, is Deuce coming back to school? Absolutely not. He'll never be back.
Yeah, we're in another school where he actually they skipped him the grade, and you know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Enough on
Yeah.
the Chicago
Boy, shit,
education system.
I'd have pookied it up, boy. I'd have came in there smelling like reefer. You said what? You holding back the
Hold him back.
I've been telling my wife we need to hold him back so he can play basketball.
Ibbity bibbity.
Baby, listen to this white person. You know what I mean? I've been telling you to hold him back. Boy, Deuce sitting there, boy. Deuce, you about to go through kindergarten 2 more times if I got something to do with it. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
Hey, boy,
Only in America.
but when you look at it,
Yeah.
all those players, Kendall get all them players, bro, that be on that certain level, and you be like, a lot of them, bro, be pushing 19, closer to 19 than they are to 17.
Right. And physically, we went through it with Big Joe, but
When
it
is
is
Deuce's
what it is.
birthday? Is it early in the year or late?
It's October.
See, he's like
21.
me. Yep, you boy. Yeah, you could have held him back 2 years. I used to tell my mom, you could have held me back 2 years. I'd have been old as hell in school.
I don't give a damn about them talking about.
Now I see how they be on varsity at freshman, because
they already 15.
Yeah, and been balling for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at these. I thought we'd have a sighting around here.
Politics.
Coach says, I've been on record saying trade Kobe White, but his play is changing his mind. He says Zach LaVine decided to have a season-ending foot injury. He's questionable.
What?
Diesel is in the building.
What's up, Diesel?
What's good?
Nothing much, man. Just enjoying life.
Yeah, man. We was talking about the Bulls right now, bro. Kobe White and Zach LaVine been hurt again.
AC, 9 seeds, baby. We're going 8-9 again. You ready?
Yeah, we're a solid 9th seed, bro. I mean, you can't be excited about that, Diesel, the 9th seed?
No, because I ain't never liked the coach. I don't.
No,
like
you ain't never liked the coach.
The GM is overrated, or whoever that dude is.
He's from a shithole country. He's smoking a cigarette right now.
He's done
Turkish.
nothing.
He's smoking a Turkish cigarette too.
The 2 younger rooks need to be playing more. At least they had energy. Have y'all ever really watched the Bulls? They're like slow. Like the whole team is like slow. Like even DeRozan, slow.
I think I know which rook you talking about. He was on the G League and he be ball like he's very efficient.
Yeah, the 2 of them. They both good. The 2 young black I forget their names all the time.
Yeah.
But when they come on the court, there's energy.
Mhm.
We need Doc
Caruso
Rivers.
always
Doc
hurt.
Rivers.
Always hurt. Every other game, he's hurt.
Diesel, I told you Doc Rivers was a horrible coach.
Oh, I ain't never liked Doc Rivers as a
We're
coach.
gonna get him in Chicago.
No, you don't want.
That's the type of stuff the Bulls will do, though. They'll bring in an 80-year-old Doc Rivers.
Just like we said at the beginning of the year, the Bulls, we the same team, maybe slightly better, but probably slightly worse. So
they ran.
Hey, your boy Kevin Warren, though. Hey, that man trying to keep that team in the shot. Big ups Kevin Warren.
Yeah.
He trying to keep that stadium in the shot, bro. They say where the parking lot is by Soldier Field. They talking about they just won't build it on the south side over there where Cookies and Ray Rays are, man. So we can rebuild like we did over here in Inglewood.
Yeah.
But hey, even the Sox trying to move to that little location right there.
Yeah, build right there. I mean, bro, expand the freaking city. Bro, you will have yoga pants and Starbucks cups and dog walkers walking through the alley. Man, before the ground is even broke on that place, you do that, bro.
Yeah, tear down that old ass stadium and leave them columns or whatever the hell's landmark status standing up, and let's keep it moving. Put a hot dog stand over in front of those columns.
They overthunk.
Oh, you want to tear down Soldiers Field and rebuild there? No, I want to rebuild in the city on the south side. But go ahead, Diesel.
They thought that them people in Arlington Heights was going to cater to them with that tax stuff, man. And only the city be catering to them teams with them tax breaks and stuff. Yeah. And then they go and get it assessed, and they told them, no.
People in the city like Arlington Heights, they be educated. Most of them ain't even football fans like you be thinking. So it's a great percentage of season ticket holders who live out there. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, but overall, if you sit out there and talk to 100 people in Arlington Heights, 90 of them will tell you they don't even watch football.
Right. Nah, and they don't want to be bothered with the traffic. They don't even care. Shit. They don't even care how much money it'll bring to their area and raise their property value. They don't even care.
Because when they bought that property, it didn't have a stadium. Now, what'll happen is the new people who will start buying property are buying it because it is by the football stadium. Now it's going to attract, football fans. Like the people who's by Wrigleyville who have been there forever complaining. Yeah, I respected it because they've been there forever. But, new people moving over there, shut up. It's like moving next to a nightclub, upstairs from a nightclub, and then complaining about the noise.
Right, because people been over there pissing on the buildings and doing graffiti and all kind of crap for years.
Yeah.
Now they
making noise.
Now they fixed up the stadium. Now y'all want to complain about lights and people being over there.
You can't accuse the Drop Dead Gorgeous without evidence of pissing on the buildings.
Yeah, they were.
You can't accuse them of that. You know what I mean? Just for the record, we don't want YouTube to flag us here.
Okay. They were thinking about this.
Now, you guys, y'all know the topic. We're going to get on it. But now, the Super Bowl, though, we hadn't discussed that. Now, I picked the Niners.
Yeah.
I was on the record saying, no, if I had to, put my money on it, I'm going with Sideshow Bob.
Yeah.
But I did pick the Niners. What are you guys' thoughts on the game overall? And then all of this talk about this person's the next Patty Mahomes when Patty Mahomes wasn't even the next Patty Mahomes. Like, he wasn't the first overall pick.
I got you. Well, go ahead, DJ, because I got mine.
It's well, they say that kind of stuff because they see some of the, if you look at some of the film and you see some of the things that he does, it's some of those types of plays that you see Mahomes makes. But I mean, it's more when you evaluate, it's way more than that to make you to come to a decision. Mm-hmm. Now, this is going to be a real interesting draft. Interesting.
Ain't it? We thought last year was interesting.
Because you don't know, even with the Bears. So you don't know if Williams is their guy. You don't know who could be their guy.
You mean like last year? We didn't know between those two. Yeah.
Who could be? They could have. It could be Daniels. It could be the May. You
Michael
don't know
Peters.
who.
It could be
It
Michael
could
Peters
be
Jr.
any of them.
And you
Any
see
of
how
them
he got
quarterbacks.
held himself back. Michael Peters Jr. is like 34 years old or some shit.
It could be Penix, or it could be the guy out of Michigan, the McCarthy guy. Yeah.
And again,
Michael Penix is the same age as Justin. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, remember I told you,
That's
he
how my
tore his
son would
knee
be
up
aged.
twice,
Held
so
back
you
2
get those
years.
injury
COVID, he's thinking
waivers.
30.
You get those injury waivers from the
Out
two
of college.
times he tore up his knee, and then when the COVID thing passed, they gave like players another year to waive. So yeah, you end up being even what's his name from Oregon? He's old. Nix. Yeah, he played like 3 years at Auburn, and then played like 2 at Oregon. So it's like, it's gonna be a real interesting draft, man. Ain't no telling what's gonna happen.
And either way, if it don't work, Poe's job is on the line, unless he does something that Kevin Warren agrees with. Because Kevin Warren sounds to me like he wants to build a stadium in the city of Chicago, and he wants to keep Justin Fields. That's what I'm getting out. This could just be him, trying to raise the value for Justin and keep that, so in case they have to trade him.
There's a lot of different scenarios, absolutely. But I did pick the Kansas City Chiefs to repeat as Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, but you picked them against the Eagles earlier this season, so. But you did pick them to win against the Eagles. You did.
And I was undefeated in the championship round and the divisional round.
You were.
Yeah.
Ace won. He won. But these old tapped out.
I had the Chiefs but I had the Chiefs like the whole.
No, we were doing the playoff things. You weren't. No,
but I had the Chiefs the whole year. I said, until they get beat, they still until somebody beats them. I wouldn't bet against them. And look what they did. They went on the road.
That's not picking them.
So you guys, all right. I mean, you can say that. So you picking them again? Because Vegas ain't picking them for next year.
Whole year.
But Vegas ain't picking. I'm just saying.
I was the one catering to the Chiefs, not neither one of y'all. He picked up on the bandwagon after the fact. He was crazy. He was on Hurts's coattails.
I picked the Chiefs at the beginning of the year to win the Super Bowl.
Man, you was picking on Hurts and all of that stuff, man. I was on Carrot Top the whole time.
Can we go back to the film?
We can go to the film. Now, I'm going to sit here. Now, Diesel, Ace has been.
I'm talking about throughout the season.
Now, I remember.
On the Chiefs
because Ace picked the Chiefs over the Eagles. And I was like, do you really think it's going to be a repeat of the same Super Bowl? Because I'm like, that literally never happens. Right. And that's the reason why I moved up off Philly, But, and I moved off Carrot Top because I wanted to believe in Ray Jackson. Okay. I wanted to believe in Ray. All right. That was my fault. You know what I mean? I wanted to believe in Ray.
Ray.
Yeah.
I believed in him too, but not enough to beat Carrot Top.
Well, and it was the Nagy factor. Once I figured out Nagy was over there calling plays, you saw they had the worst offense they've had since he's been there. But
remember, he got Reed to supersede him when he gets stupid. Yeah, we didn't have it. We didn't have it, but
they let him call. Yeah, before he left, they let him call plays in the playoffs. But this time around, they said, "Hey, it's the playoffs. It's Andy Reid's offense. So you just sit over there and get some towels and make sure the water is cold."
And keep drawing imaginary plays on your wall in your basement. You know what I mean? With your beautiful mind.
And the biggest thing, I mean, they don't get the Chiefs defense like none of the credit they deserve, man.
Man, they was balling, bro.
They balled the whole year. They keeping them in games.
Okay, all right. But I'm glad you bring it up because this is something I've been saying. The quarterback position is overrated. Ace brought it up. Quarterbacks drafted number 1 overall. It's not like they get you Super Bowls. You look at the history of it. This is my point. Now, I know you're going to say, no, this is a bad argument because Pat Mahomes is him and down the stretch. Yes, I agree. He did what he had to do. But it's easy to not ignore the defense, the running game, and the coaching and everything he had around him. Right. Same thing like Brady had. It's easy to not ignore that. And why can't, even though he may have a slow release, he may be higher on the autism scale, his dad may be a dirty pig, why can't JF1 have the same success?
1
No.
year after a tear down.
Well,
Yeah.
I tell you, so I look at it like this: if you still asking if this is your guy at quarterback after
He
3
is my
years,
guy.
then
I'm
he's
not
not your
asking
guy.
anything.
Yeah, we're not asking that. That's you
Well,
and a
that's
few
you
peeps.
two. That's you two.
That's
talking
not
about me,
athletes.
and I'm
Every
talking about the
athlete,
Bears.
every
I'm talking about the
athlete,
Bears.
only
I'm
the
talking about
geeks
the
and
Bears.
media people and
Nah,
former GMs are saying this.
if you still asking if
Go
he's
ahead.
your guy,
Oh, go
then
ahead.
he's not your guy after 3 years.
Well,
Now,
then you're a geek because all
now
the former
who's
athletes and all the coaches are saying they would stay with JF1.
but that's up to them. But they not the GM. They're not looking at the financial
The
aspect of
business
it either.
aspect, yeah.
And that's a huge part of it. So
No,
if
it's
you
not.
can, yes, the hell if it ain't. The hell
You can
if it
keep
ain't.
him for the next 2 years. You can keep him for $30 million for
No,
2
you're not
years.
keeping him for no, because he gonna want it. No, he
Yeah,
gonna
you
want
can
an
franchise
extension
tag him
after
worst
the.
case.
And then you can
Yeah,
franchise him the year after that. So that's 3 years
it's not
at $50 million.
a
And
player.
you got 80 million. You got 78 million under the cap right now.
Right, he's not. It's gonna be you would have him for this year only. Then you're gonna have to extend him, and that extension is what they always get extended before their 5th year. That's the whole thing. You got to
He's under
extend him
contract for this year, and
for
then
the
the
4th
following year is the extension. This is his
Right,
3rd
you got.
year.
You
You
don't
keep
have-
I
listening
you-
to
just
the
say
name.
Yeah,
you
you
get
don't.
him for this
You don't
year
have
for
to
free.
extend them.
You
You
get
don't
him for
have
the
to
regular
extend them.
thing. But that's the whole thing. You're not going to leave yourself out to dry because what would your
But
position be in next
okay.
year?
They've got 4 more years
Thank
of
you.
Justin Fields under contract.
Not if he ain't. Not if you don't
hold it.
believe that he's
But
your
hold it,
guy.
Diesel.
That's
Let me
the
answer
whole
you.
point.
Let me answer your question. So what they would have, not only just Justin Fields in this scenario, but they would have draft capital. Let's say if they decide to move off Fields after this season, somebody might say, "Well, you could have had Caleb." All right, well, fine. All right, get over it. There'll be other quarterbacks. I know they're saying next year's draft don't look as good, but they said Justin Fields' draft was the best draft since when you know what I mean, when Elway came out. So long story short is what I'm saying. Nobody ever really knows with these drafts and what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, we would have draft capital where Poles could then go get his guy if it ain't Justin. Like we don't necessarily have to do that this season. What do you say to that?
You heard me say they can draft a quarterback 1 and keep Justin for this year.
Yeah, I heard you say that. You said
that.
it could be down in it, like like not high
keep,
1, but yeah.
It can be. Now it'll be hard. It'll be. I mean, you could even draft the guy number 1. It would depend on who he is, and let him sit the bench for you, and let Justin play.
You sure
you
can.
Could.
You sure can. You can.
Could.
You can.
Now it's a little bit harder when it's the first pick. So if you were doing something like that,
when it's a generational player, in quote, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah. So if you were doing something like that, they'd probably trade down a couple of slots.
But I'm down for grooming quarterbacks. You know me, I'm on record.
If they did that kind of move, now
they can get Penix or Pookie in a second. They can get the guy from Michigan.
Penix is already 28 years old. You don't want him in your funnel. By the time he comes up, he'll be 32. But we can get somebody in the funnel who's a young kid who could,
And the thing with, like I've always said, you don't need a great quarterback to win a Super Bowl for a season. If your quarterback is,
that's what I've been saying.
No, but what have you always heard me say? You would need a great defense and a great special teams to win with an average to below average quarterback.
Yes, it's been the Bears formula for years. We built that formula.
Right.
Not the Ravens, not all these naysayers. That's our formula. We built that.
But
we invented it.
As the league changed, it's a little harder to duplicate that stuff. As they change the rules and stuff to cater to certain type of stuff, it's harder to do that same stuff that was done 80s, 90s, even early 2000s. It's harder. You can't even return kicks on the kickoffs no more because they moved up the yard to an extent.
That's right, defense.
To an extent.
Yeah, to an extent. It just won the last championship.
You just said
Did it? Tell that to the defensive coordinator who got fired from Frisco.
Well, that was some bullshit too.
But they lost. That's what I'm saying.
They held the Chiefs to 1 touchdown in the whole regulation. That came on a.
But I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying the defense won championships. The KC defense won that.
Defense helps, no doubt. It'll help you more win a championship than not. Right now, we could
That's
say
how the
this
Bulls
too.
won those 6 championships.
You could
That's what
say
separated
this.
them from those other teams. They
If
had offense and defense. But go
if
ahead.
Mahomes had receivers that didn't drop the ball all year, they probably might not have been as close as it was, right?
Yeah.
Really only had one legit receiver and one legit tight end.
Well,
That's it.
Well, here's Ace. Ace, here's what I've been telling you. And Diesel, you might like this because, Diesel likes when people pile on JF1, but I'm not piling on. There was a point in the Super Bowl, Diesel, when that one of those receivers you're talking about who's been dropping the ball all year was at the end of the first half. He cut and he was open. The announcer pointed out, your boy Kelsey was looking for his man. So, that's his man. Mahomes.
I seen him too. Hey, I seen him on the film. He's wide open.
If he caught it, he'd have scored. Now, he went to the bench. The receiver was doing that public to the coordinator, and then he said something to Mahomes. Did you see what Mahomes did? Mahomes went after that motherfucker. They had to hold Mahomes back. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Mahomes was, and it was Brady-like. JF1, I want to see Justin and the people around. Justin, I need you to start doing this when somebody misses a block and you get slammed on your head. You know what I'm saying? I need you to get up and because that's part leadership, Ace, that you need out of your quarterback position. You need that out of your quarterback. Yeah. What do you say to that?
But he hasn't won a Super Bowl or 2. So
I know what you mean, that cachet.
He doesn't have that bravado or cachet to go to this particular player.
Yeah,
I mean, now that wide receiver, he should have cussed it.
But Mahomes had that in him from day one, dog. Go ahead, Ace. Go ahead, man. Mahomes,
he had that in college, and we get to the league, and he has had success in the league. So there's nothing you can't tell this $500 million quarterback that's probably got another $200 million.
Man, you want to show him up in the Super Bowl, and he took offense to that, bro.
And this guy comes to the press conference like, I'm ready for next year. I'm ready to win back to back.
So, and I'm never an underdog. That dude's like Michael Jordan. He covers spreads, like, man. Man.
So, the only outside of Kelsey, the only one I could see that could say like, "Hey man, did you see me?" would be Rice, because he played and didn't drop.
No. He can say it, but he can't say it like that. He was saying it like Mahomes was Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, and hadn't won anything. Like and like he was, and like the receiver was MJH. It's level. I get it. You can say it, and I knew his frustration because I think ultimately he caught that one at the end of the game. But to Ace's point, man, that's Mahomes. He got this cachet. Like, you wouldn't be talking to Brady like that. You wouldn't be talking to Brady like that in a game like that, trying to snap on him saying, "Look for me, I'm wide open." You just looking at Kelsey.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Right, I'm looking at Kelsey.
It depends.
Damn right, I'm looking at Kelsey.
Now, again, because that would be his rebuttal if you one of them dudes that's been dropping balls out all year. I don't give a fuck if you are open. I'm looking at him because I don't trust him to catch the ball. That's happened
in basketball. They'd be like, you just giving the ball to Torrey. In this situation, you damn right I'm looking for Torrey. Yeah.
Like I said, only Rice would I be like, man, all right, my bad. And, next time I might get you.
No, and he would have had he not tried to. He was coming at Mahomes, though, and that's what I'm saying. Mahomes had that dog in him, like, nah.
Yeah, I'm trying to win this game, man. What you doing?
Forget about you, your feelings with the name on your back of your jersey. You'll be looking at me in this NFL tomorrow.
Right. You telling me I should throw you the ball to this damn tight end that's one of the best tight ends ever in football history? Are you out your fucking mind? Pardon the French.
But on the flip side, it did work, though, because the receiver was wide open on the play at the end of the game, So, I get it.
But how did he know that Mahomes wasn't setting that up in the first half? For him to be wide open in the second half. Correct. You're not on my level yet.
Correct. And what do y'all feel about Kelsey going at the old man like that? Because I feel like if Kelsey was some sort of Pookie, the white media would have been all over Kelsey for attacking a coach like that. Yeah, he might have got
arrested during the game.
Arrested with his Grammys. Yeah.
It was a little bit too much. He didn't have to touch him. If you yelling and screaming, and I know exactly why he was yelling and screaming.
I do too.
They took him out. They took him out of that play, and the tight end who was in on that play missed the block. Pacheco got hit, and he fumbled.
Yeah.
And he was like Man, it's the Super Bowl. You leave me in.
Yeah,
I don't give a
count
fuck
on
if it's a
me.
runner or a
Yep,
pass.
yep.
Leave me in the game. That's what
That's
you're
what he was
telling him.
saying.
And he just went a little too far when he hit him and touched him or whatever. But I mean, if Andy Reid wasn't really mad about it, like, well, not, then I ain't
Okay,
sweating.
so if that was
But he did
Pookie,
go a little
if that
too
was
far
Antonio
by touching him.
Brown,
No, he got bad history, so you ain't getting away with the bad history shit. If you already got a bad track record and you doing stupid shit, then yeah. But Kelsey somewhat got a slight history, but it's like been in the locker room.
man,
shit,
if that was Draymond Green to Ace's point, and you said it, he bumped him. I think security would have got involved, but
you see coaches sometimes bump players on the sideline when they heated and they do something wrong and they in their face. It wasn't
not to that extent. But Kelsey was telling him, like, hey man, I need to be out there. I need to be getting the ball. I need to be playing because I am Kelsey. And then Andy Reid came back to him.
No,
and
Ace, there's a layer to this you just made me discover.
What's that?
And he probably should have been snapping on Nagy like that, and Nagy just ignoring him doing that dumb Nagy shit. And what he did was he overrode Nagy and was taking it out on Reid. Yeah. Like, no, you need to tell this dude. Yeah, that's probably had more
to do with it. Why the fuck are you talking to Nagy? Why would you be talking to Nagy?
It's the biggest game of the year.
Correct.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck if it's a run or a pass.
He probably was
a better
talking to
run
Nagy,
blocker.
and Nagy wasn't doing it. Right.
I'll get it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you remember
we questioned Nagy, like, why ain't this guy on the field and why are these plays going? Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be talking to Nagy about shit.
And Kelsey said, I went too far. He was like, yeah, I shouldn't have touched coach.
Because it was a Super Bowl and you got kids watching that game. That's all I'm saying. The white media just gave him a big pass on that. Go ahead, Ace.
Go ahead. And coach's response was, the leader of the team's response, like, I'm on television, I'm on camera anywhere I'm at. So if you bump into me, no matter what kind of rapport we got, it's going to be misconstrued.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if Andy Reid had been a little bit mad about it, then I probably would think a little bit different about it. Because
he was mad, but he composed himself. You can't say.
But I mean, like, I don't think.
No.
You can't say he wasn't mad, man.
No, I don't think he was, bro. If you heard him talk about it after that,
of course,
that's what I'm saying.
But he's an older man. He's got the wisdom. I'm just saying, you, man, don't nobody walking up on him and talking like that and threatening him and bumping him. Andy Reid ain't no little guy either. He might be old. But you don't get to a point where you appreciate that.
Stuff happens on the sidelines
all the time
with coaches and players, man. We just never talk about it.
We never see it because it ain't the Super Bowl. They don't have all them cameras there like they do at the Super Bowl.
Every week and every game, there's some instances where players and coordinators and coaches.
Did you ever see anybody in the Bears bump a coach? Since this happens every week, every game.
The Bears have won the Super Bowl since '85, so
and nobody bumped Mike Ditka.
Man, they was in Dicker's face. McMahon used to be in his face all the time, arguing with him, go on the field and do exactly the opposite of what he told him. The fucking game when we came back against Minnesota in '85,
and what Ditka used to do, argue back in his face.
Yeah, but it happens. That's my point. Yeah. They argue. The shit like that happens.
No, I know it happens, but
when it's about Ditka,
but when it's Pookie and Ray, they got to go see a psychiatrist, and they got to come out and go. But when it's Pookie and Ray, they got to go on an apology tour, and they got to come out and talk to the Anti-Defamation League, and they got to write apologies and tell all the kids they were wrong, and they got to lose money and endorsements because they're thugs, and there's no place for this in football, and the kids are watching, and it's the Super Bowl. Where's that?
Did you know your coach was Ish?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know he was Ish.
No, I'm just saying, Andy, that was elder abuse, bro. I could see if Andy, pick on somebody your own age, man. I could see if Andy was like, what's the coach for Pittsburgh?
Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, if you doing that to Mike Tomlin, okay. I'm saying I just saw that as a man. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, we all got CEOs and bosses. You ain't doing that to somebody that's Andy Reid's age, bro. I to get your point across. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But it was the heat of the moment, and Andy handled it as a CEO. Like, man, you can't do that. to me because everybody's watching me. Now I understand why you didn't go over there to coach N-word because he's an idiot and
He's
he's
an idiot.
out there. He's making sure you're getting the water cold. So you come to me and tell me you need to be in the game, you need to play. I might not have.
Man,
I might
Bill
have forgot it at that
Parcells
moment.
used to do that shit to players all the
I
getting
might
in
have
their
forgot it at the
face,
moment, but thanks for
cuss them
reminding me
out.
that I got Kelsey. And in the second half, you saw he had
All
Kelsey.
kind, man, there's
But they
all
wouldn't have.
kinds of different things.
But nobody was bumping Parcells. Nobody was bumping Belichick. Man, get out of here with that, bro.
Man, they was ready to.
But
Man, listen.
they were GMs. They would cut
Bill
you.
Parcells.
They would cut you.
It's been a lot of instances where players was ready to whoop his ass. Dicker was about to get his ass whooped. I'll never forget a player who wasn't even on the damn. It was like I don't know if he's on the practice squad or something.
Well, we
And
don't know
Dicker
what was in
walking.
Dicker's heart. But go ahead. I want to hear
Man,
this.
I watched them. And fucking, they had it on camera. He walks up to the guy telling him he think he faking the injury or something. And he was like, and the dude got mad. Big dude. I guess he was a lineman or something.
You
And
can't even
like,
think of his name. The bum probably
son?
was faking an injury. But go ahead.
Yeah. All right.
No, go ahead. You can't even
Nah,
think
you're
of the
such a
bum's
smart
name.
ass. You go ahead.
No, tell your story. I mean, you can,
Nah, don't man. He was a bum, like you said.
See, now you see. Now you see how Kelsey made
Ray, like you said.
how Kelsey made the head coach feel, and he bumped him. You see, there's no place for that, and it was during the Super Bowl, bro. You know what I mean?
We say he was right for doing it. We just said that I thought it was overblown because I see stuff like that all the time every week in the NFL.
And I thought it was underblown. So I guess it's a matter of perspective. I just feel like if that was some big black guy, it would have been a whole different spin on that story.
The dude I was telling you about was black that was about to whoop Dicker ass. And Dicker
depends on
started
the
walking
coach.
off. They never talked about it again after that. That shit happens all the time. Johnny Mitchell went to Simeon, played for fucking Bill Parcells. Said that motherfucker tried to belittle him and everything. Man, he said he was gonna kill that man. He said he wanted to kill him. Talking shit about him and his family, man. He said he wanted to kill that dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I heard another football player talking about the way they be who was it recently? Talking about, man, how some of those coaches be coming at some of those, like, it's not as bad anymore. But back in the day, like, man,
it's the position the coach has. Like I heard a story this week from Michael, Big Lips, Mike, Mike from the Cowboys, Michael Irvin. He's like, we would come to the fourth quarter, the game might be close, but it was a matter of dealing with Jimmy Johnson versus dealing with the other team. We'd rather try and go out there and do whatever we had to do to beat this other team than be on a plane with Jimmy Johnson because, he was talking to some guy. He's like, man, I cut you before the damn plane land. Now he has that type of power on that particular team, and you hit the ground, and you get a message from the team that you no longer are employed there. So it's a situation where back in the days these super coaches had more control over a team and the roster than maybe some do now. So.
Well, if it's me, I'm trading this white ass. Now I'm saying it right here. You bumping me. We won the game.
We on the phone with Kansas City because we
on the phone. I'm trading them. We on the phone. You can get the rights to him. I can get the rights. You can keep JF1, however you want to do it. You can have him.
Yeah, okay.
You got your new offensive coordinator likes the 2 tight end system. You can have him. Yeah. Give me that number 1 overall pick. And I'll throw in some considerations and some drafts here and there.
Man, if I'm the owner of
and you can have Taylor Swift at your games at Soldier Field.
We ain't trade nobody. Be like, Andy, look, you almost ready to retire anyway. So is Kelsey.
Andy Reid, you can retire before we get rid of Kelsey.
Right.
Both of them ready to retire. That's
they both right there, but Kelsey still be getting open and they double, triple team.
Well, he had a down year. Nobody was talking about
the ball.
It. He was hurt when he had the down. He got hurt in the middle of the season. He just played through it. And it was like, well, what's up with Kelsey? His numbers are down. That hurt their offense. It took him he played through the injury and he started getting more healthy towards the end of the season. And you saw him dominate the plallayoffs this year. Dominated the playoffs.
Yeah, they couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, he's a beast.
And they knew he was getting the
ball. I would have cut him. We'd have had something to talk about. I'd have cut him. I wouldn't even trade him. right at the
And
end
you
of the
had the
game.
best set of circumstances because the receivers was mostly dropping the ball. So it's like, man, just double him.
And sent a whole
Double him.
message. That's why he played through the injury too. They was using him as a decoy. Yeah. All right, man. Let's just jump on topic right quick so we can go ahead and unless it's something else, because we ain't done this in a while. Was there anything? There's been a lot of sports. It's just hard to keep up with since we ain't done it in a while. Anything else y'all want to comment on before we start talking about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, the just a couple of minutes on that. The D coordinator for San Francisco, man, that was like, I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, I don't get that either. I don't get that.
Like,
I think some words were exchanged. You know what I mean?
Between third overall defense, and they said statistically, his D was better than they had old boy who's the coach of the Texans now, DeMarco Ryans. For 2 years that he was there as the coordinator, this guy's D was statistically better than he is. And like I said, the Chiefs, they held them to one touchdown in regulation, and that touchdown came on the dude muffing the punt.
It had to be some words exchanged, bro, between him and the head coach. Go ahead.
He was colored.
Well, I mean, they hired him and he was colored. You can't say they hired him because he was colored.
Yeah, well, I mean, during the overtime, the head coach ran down and called a timeout while they were on defense because he didn't like the particular defense they were in.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so
but I mean, come on, that's like, okay, hey, all right, yeah, we would change it.
Do they run a 4-3 or a 3-4?
A 4-3.
Yeah, we could have hired him, huh? But we had we had already hired our D coordinator before they fired him.
Well, we had no. We hired our D coordinator for this year, yeah.
Before San Fran fired, yeah, we could have hired him.
They fired him after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we could have fired him
after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we could have hired him, man.
And that's
that would have been a nice hire.
If you're the GM, I think John Lynch, you come in and say, wait a minute, man, no. You need to. I know you're
but are you establishing a culture? If I'm John Lynch, and again, if I'm John Lynch and you come to me, it's a whole different team. But if you say, man, I want to cut Kelsey, he got up in my face. I'm like, hey, so let's cut him. I'm gonna support you. It's culture.
That's a whole different circumstance. We're talking about coordinator who took you to the Super Bowl.
It's culture.
Held the Chiefs to one touchdown in regulation in the Super Bowl. So
but it's Ace's staff. If Ace, you can't force Ace to have somebody on his staff.
It's the same thing when the Bears, Buddy Ryan, the players said, "Hey man," they told the owner, "Hey man, we like this dude."
And what happened to Buddy?
He kept him, and Dicker came on board, and he said, "You can't bring in no coordinator. We keeping Buddy Ryan."
But Dicker was okay with it because Dicker was an offensive guy. But what I'm saying is, if it ever got to a point where Dicker was like, I can't work with this guy.
And so his old boy is an offensive guy.
Right. Yeah. And if it gets to a point where I can't work with and they were winning the Super Bowl, these dudes ain't winning.
But listen, but here's the difference. Old boy done got his ass whooped in the Super Bowl as the coordinator. He blew a big lead. And then as the coach.
Yeah, but that was against Brady. Brady was deflating balls. They were watching.
He didn't run the ball. He didn't run the ball.
They knew what plays they were going to run. But
he didn't run the ball. 28-3. He didn't run the ball. He kept throwing passes.
A trained chimp. But I'm saying they knew what plays were coming because they had recorded the whole practice. They recorded their walkthroughs. I'm not making this up.
A trained chimp would have ran the ball in the Super Bowl.
That was before that Super Bowl. They wasn't doing it at that Super Bowl. It was before that Super Bowl.
Well, if you want to think they was cheating on him when they got caught, you think that. You know what I mean?
No, it's not that other teams wasn't cheating, but they was cheating. It was just blatant, and you didn't go take people's walkthroughs. It's just totally right. You didn't do shit like that.
Right.
But this dude, not only did he lose it as the coordinator for the Falcons, but as the head coach for the 49ers, he blew a lead in the Super Bowl. So how come the GM can't come and say, hey, man, I don't think you can get the job done, even though you done got us to the Super Bowl twice.
Because he's from the Shanahan tree.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean? And from what I've heard, that they were kind of butting heads all season. You had I
didn't hear that. I just figured. Go ahead.
Yeah, you had an aggressive defensive coordinator who blitzed 40% of the time when he was in Carolina. And then he came to San Fran and they're blitzing like less than 20% of the time. So, there was a philosophical difference between what he was normally doing versus what he had to do when he was in San Fran.
Who hired him?
I don't know who the hell hired.
The head coach probably hired him. So if the head coach hired him, he should be able to fire him. Now, if John Lynch hired him, then that's right. Now, if John Lynch hired him, then that's a different story. So if I'm the GM and Diesel, you my coach, and you hired your defensive coordinator, and you came to me, I don't care how good he is, I hired you, and you came to me and said, "Look, man, me and this dude ain't working. I'm gonna support you." Right. Now, if I hired Ace to be your defensive coordinator, and you like, man, me and Ace button head, and I'm looking at Ace's numbers, and Ace got us a Super Bowl, and I hired Ace, I'd be like, hold it. Then I might do what you said. I'd be like, hold it, y'all need to let's sit down and work this out. Right.
Let's talk this out.
Right.
Now, if they had a sit down, them two and John Lynch, and say, man, we ain't gonna be able to come to terms, then that's different. But I don't think that happened because you would have heard through the rumor mill that type of shit. No, it was just dude on some. I'm gonna just go my own.
Something happened. Yeah. He must have blamed that D coordinator for not stopping them at the end on that touchdown play and all that, for letting them go down.
Scapegoat him.
Yes, he must have scapegoated him in front of the team. Like he must have did something happened, man. Yeah, at that game. Yep. To your point that nobody's talking about. They're keeping it in the house.
You know how many times the Chiefs punted in that game? Man, they was punting like a game and kicking field goals.
And hold it. Came out in the second half, got the interception. It was the offense that didn't capitalize and went 3 and out after the defense gave them that ball. That's what I'm saying. They probably was having conversations like that in front of the team and you can't have that to a certain extent. You can't have
he's an experienced coach. He was he's been a head coach.
He got shafted in Carolina because they put him in as the intern when they fired
and it was tanking.
They put him in as the intern. He turned him around playing good ball.
But they wanted
to thought he was going to become the head coach, and they went and hired Frank Reich.
Because they was mad at him. They wanted him to tank. They'll hire us and want us to tank, but we get in there and inspire and motivate people because that's what black men do.
Yeah, we teach them how to play football. We're winning, and they're like, oh, shit, let's trade his running back. Let's see what he does here. Oh, damn, he's still winning. Let's get rid of this. Oh, damn, he's still winning. Oh, yeah, you can't be the head coach. We need another type of culture.
So, I mean, but
and the
I don't think he got fired because he was black. Are you saying he got fired because he was black, Diesel? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying he got fired because he's black. I'm saying it's very weird. It's very weird that he gets fired and you had like the number 3 defense overall. You go to the Super Bowl, your first year with these people, your offense wasn't all of that.
I see what you're saying. You're saying if he was drop dead, what Ace is saying, if he was drop dead gorgeous, blonde haired, blue eyed, and he was off somebody's tree, defensive tree, he wouldn't have been fired. And Lynch would have came in there and told him, he's smart, let's work this out.
Who knows? Well, I just know it's real weird for him to get canned like that.
I'll be the devil's advocate. Let's say because Shanahan likes,
and anybody whose last name is Lynch is a racist. Go ahead.
Shanahan likes younger coaches than him, coaches that he can control. And, you're looking at Steve Wilkes as an older coach who's been a head coach in the NFL and wants to run his defense a certain way. And they probably were butting heads because he couldn't be controlled by the head coach. And, he had to go. So he'll be all right. He'll land somewhere. Unfortunately, Chicago already hired a defensive coordinator, so we couldn't bring him here, and so we can get to the Super Bowl this year. But maybe he can come in as a consultant or something. But he'll be fine. He'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean that was a great topic. I mean, I thought as you mentioned, it seems like more investigation could have been done, but it seems like they're pretty hush hush about whatever that is. Like nobody's really asking these questions that y'all propose.
I watched some of the sports stations. They went in on it. They went in on them like, it doesn't make any sense. What the hell are you doing? Type of stuff. But again, they're puzzled too because nothing's really came. As far as like other than what he said, like, man, he's a good man, good coach and everything. But I just felt we need to go in a different direction. which anybody could say at any time on any team.
Anytime.
Well, they said it when Alan Williams got fired for exposing himself allegedly at the at Hallis Hall. I mean, I don't know what the story is. Whatever it is running sex slaves through the Hallis Hall. I mean, there was so many suggestions by white media. I was like, damn, this dude, and he a gangster too, because you know what I mean? He got away with it.
Now, can we still hire Steve Wilkes? Because we don't really have a defensive coordinator here in Chicago.
Yeah, we hired one. That's what I'm saying. We hired a coordinator.
They hired one, but Eberflus is still going to call the defensive play. So did we hire a defensive coordinator?
The coordinator don't. If he's like still kind of calling the plays, then the coordinator don't really matter too.
I mean, that's a good point. But then what
it's like the Andy Reid thing, your coordinator. All right,
but he's got the title as defensive coordinator. So now, if you hire this guy, what do you have? 2 people titled the defensive coordinator?
Yeah, we make this guy
because he's colored too. I think the other one's colored.
Well, we can't downgrade his title because he's been hired as the defensive coordinator. So we can bring in Steve Wilkes as the assistant head coach and defensive consultant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of
and they'd be like, well, what does he do? He calls all the plays game time. That's what he does.
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to be the best you can be. So
that's right.
Why wouldn't you be the best you can be? You got a guy that just went to the damn Super Bowl as defensive coordinator.
Well, if you don't even want to pay Justin Fields, fair market value for what he's worth, you think they're going to want to pay 2 black defensive coordinators in Hallis Hall? Papa Bear Hallis is rolling over in his grave right now. You're paying 2 moolies?
Who you drafting? You're the GM of the Bears, Mercer. Who are you drafting? What are you doing with the first pick?
I'll tell you. I'm
coming to you next. I want to ask him first.
Very good question. Very good question. Now listen, I've been consistent. I've been saying this before national media and the local meatheads got on it. All right, Marvin. I said it last season. I said, Ace, we got to start taking the dogs. I agree with moving down and getting, watered down talent up and down your roster. And this guy could be in if he can only. I agree with that. The Tyler Scotts or whatever the name is. Now, I said this season with the draft capital, we have to draft the generational dogs. Okay. I'm consistent. So what I would do, Diesel, to make a long story short, I would trade down with Washington. Okay. Get whatever.
What pick are they? 2?
2. I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there. Now they're going to get Caleb. I'm sitting at 2. Now there may be a team that decides, hey, they got to come up there and get their quarterback.
Now, wait a minute. Let me ask you this before you finish. Who? Now, this is important.
Okay, who am I going for? Marvin Harrison Jr.
No. I'm saying who, and Ace, you can think of, you might already know your answer before we get to you, but who's your number 1 quarterback coming out?
On my board?
Yeah, on your board.
On my board is Caleb. On my board is Caleb, hands down. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm going with Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm going to slide down maybe to 3, 4, lowest I can go, trading just to get there, make sure I secure him. I want a dog. Now, here's going to surprise y'all. That number 9, I'm getting that tight end. We got that offensive coordinator who loves that 2 tight end set. And so now he's a white boy, and they say this dude
Bowers.
Yes, they say he's a robot. Yes,
he is. Here's one the only thing up here, the little asterisk for me, because I done watched him.
He's got autism.
He get hurt. He be getting hurt, bro.
All white boys get hurt like that, except for.
I mean, as much as we have our doubts with commit, and then we look up and say, "Damn, this motherfucker had a good season."
That's why you got 2 of them,
saying?
And you still keep that other one that we got from the Packers. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is that's what I'm getting. To answer your question, I'm getting him.
Did he tear a knee?
No,
Something happened to him.
I'm getting him and Mark. Listen to what I'm doing, and then you can go to Ace. I'm getting him and Marvin Harrison Jr. Now my offense is boom. And lastly, I got all this draft capital for moving around. I'm talking to the Giants. I can give you 2 seconds or whatever, and I want Ace know who I want. I want that running back on your team who you guys are having trouble paying and you devalue because he's colored, and he's going to be my Christian McCaffrey back there. I need a solid veteran back there to help my quarterback JF1 who can help process, right? And then now lastly, in the 3rd round there, That's where I'm shoring up the offensive line. I'm going to get me the center, couple of tackles, second round, third round, like that. But go ahead, Ace. It's on you. And 3 Tech,
Ace, yeah,
I would
give us
address
the
free agency and next
first
season.
Ace, tell us who's your number one quarterback on the board from the draft.
Who's your number one quarterback on the big board, Ace? We don't want to hear your nonsense.
Penix. I don't care where I'm drafting him at. See, the
Come
first
on, he's
round,
75 years old, and the guy's more brittle.
don't.
He's more brittle than. Okay, this is your story. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah.
I don't care if I get him a late first round or second round, whatever hell to get devalued to because of his injuries. I'll take him as a quarterback and put him behind Justin. And if
so you're gonna trade the number one.
I'm gonna trade the number one. I want Marvin Harrison Jr. And now if I trade back to 2, and then I get another couple number one draft picks out of it, I'll trade back to pass Marvin Harrison Jr. and get me the offensive lineman, offensive tackle, one of them big 2 boys that are available out of Penn State.
Boy, whoa! What is this your story?
And Notre Dame.
Oh my God! Here we go with this offensive lineman shit. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Now, if I get that offensive lineman, then I can go get that damn wide receiver out of Washington, Nduku or whatever the hell his name is.
Mbunge. He said he wants to be a Bear. He wants to be a Bear. He said
I'll bring him in, and I got those 2 picks.
He's not a foundationally Black American. He's some sort of.
I don't give a damn what he is. That kid can play football. And that means I'm adding picks in the second round and the third round while I'm He's
going to be running nickel slick shams in the locker room. But go ahead, bro.
So I got Nduze, I got a left tackle, and I got JF1, and
you're not
going to get a center. Go ahead, Diesel.
I'm just trying to hear like what you guys are taking in the first round since you're trading down, because you're basically going to get 2 or 3 first round picks by trading down that first round.
Absolutely.
So in the first round, you're getting a Dunze, a tackle, and then if you got another late third round,
possibly a center.
Yeah, he keeps bringing tackles.
And Milz, you're taking.
I'm taking MJH. He's a dog. He's the best player in the draft. He's the generational player. Okay, and I'm taking Brock Powers. Okay. And I'm going to come up with second round picks within the movement that I'm doing when I'm trading down. I'm going to be in the second and third round addressing the center and the tackle position. And that's what I'm doing this season. And I can 3-tech it from free agency. If not, I have to deal with that next season with all the draft capital I got now.
Okay. So here's what I'm doing. At the first pick now, the only exception that I would make to this first pick is
who's the top on your draft, your quarterback board first.
I'm gonna Here it goes. So number 1 is Caleb Williams. The exception to what I'm about to say is if the Bears got an offer that was something like what you seen Dicker's crazy ass do when he was in New Orleans and traded like his whole draft to get Ricky Williams, or what you seen with Herschel Walker, Dallas and Minnesota. They're
talking like 3 first round picks and Saquon Barkley. That's what they're talking about. Would you for something like that? Go ahead.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I'm making a deal.
I am too.
I'm leaning towards making a deal. Now, outside of that, just regular deals, I'm gonna take Caleb Williams with that first pick. Justin Fields, I'm gonna trade him. Hopefully, get a late first round. Right?
Okay. Hopefully. What if you can't get a second? What if you're gonna get a third for Justin?
You're gonna
just saying. What if they're only giving you a third? Are you gonna still move?
No. Well, you
got to ask these questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna still move him because he's gonna be disgruntled. He ain't gonna want to stay.
I got you. You got to move him. Yeah, go ahead.
But you shouldn't get less than an early 2 for him because there are teams that want him. So hopefully, I'm thinking to myself as a GM, I'm gonna get a late 1. So with them other 2 1s, our first pick, I'm taking. Either Odunze, the receiver, or
he's going to be running shams in the locker room, PPA shams.
Because Marvin Harrison Jr.
My dad is a prince, and I got to move this money.
Right, Marvin Harrison won't be there. Or if I don't take Odunze, I'm gonna take
ups to the Nigerians out there. You know,
I'm taking the end, the defensive end, either from Penn State or the one from
Having some fun.
UCLA. They're both dogs. Both of them. You put them opposite
Wait.
side of,
Who's from? Wait. UCLA. You say that one more
yeah,
time.
it's a defensive end from
Uh-huh.
UCLA, and there's a defensive end from Penn State. They're both dogs.
Yeah.
I'd prefer getting the Penn State guy if I had to just go off, because they'll put your thumb in your bum.
I'd have to, if I'm the GM, I'm doing more evaluation on both of them to come up with the.
Shit.
But one of those
I'm going with the Penn State guys.
would be
They're
my regular Bears.
They're
pick.
pouring stupid. Yeah.
One of them two would be my regular Bears pick, and then as we
But we got to address safety. They didn't cut Jackson.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Out there to play
going back into the trade for Fields, if I get a late first rounder, it's either going to be a safety,
stupid fourth round.
Yeah,
a safety, or even or a late round first round tight end to go with Commit, because Commit been with us how many years? 3? Did he come the same year as Justin?
Yeah, this will be his 4th season.
He came the year that they picked Commit over Jalen Hurts. So this will be, and they re-signed him already.
Yeah.
Oh, they already re-signed. Okay, so yeah.
They already signed him and gave him big money.
Yeah, and then I guess as we get closer to the draft, we all can kind of give our mock draft for the Bears. Not for everybody else.
Wait. All right, so you go. Wait. So you're drafting Caleb?
Yeah, I'm taking Caleb 1, right?
Why?
With
what
the
are you
Bears,
doing with that 9th pick?
It's either Odunze, or this is something I would have to decide. Either him or one of those defensive ends I told y'all.
Got you.
And then the late pick that hopefully will be a late first rounder for the Justin trade, either safety or a center.
I would definitely say center. Huge. Yeah, they say it's a couple of real dog centers available that you could probably get in the first round.
Then our number 2, do we have a 2 this year?
No, we gave it up for the end. For our end that came in and helped.
The sweat factor.
Yeah. But listen, you got all this capital for next year. And remember, you could be telling teams, hey, look, I'll give you this if you give me a 2 this year. So that's the thing about draft capital. At some point, Poles is going to be able to say, hey, look, man, I'll offer you a 1 or I'll offer you 2 2s for Saquon since y'all can't get a contract done and he wants all this big money and I'm sitting on this money. Like, I think if you start bringing in dogs, bro, the NFL is in legitimate trouble.
Yeah, because I'm getting rid of I'm not drafting Caleb Williams. I already got Caleb Williams. You got Justin Fields.
A bigger, stronger Caleb Williams who doesn't but Caleb, let me tell you something. Caleb's something Diesel pointed out, man. It is a hitch on JF1. I'm not gonna sit here and say the guy walks on water. I love him. I'm a JF1 guy, and I'm still saying keep him. But he's got a long hitch. Man, his trigger, my God, and then it's the people coaching them though. We do have a new quarterback coach.
It's the freaking coaches.
You're right. They're not telling them to look like. Even though you got a long hitch, it's been many quarterbacks. You can't stare people down and have a long hitch.
It don't work. Your mechanics
and never pump fake, and you're running a 4-3. Like I be watching Brock Purdy. You see him when he gets to the end. Brock Purdy came off the street. Ace. What have you been hearing me say since Justin's rookie year? Show the ball, pump fake. Torrey made a limit out of it on the basketball court. Yeah.
They got to respect it, especially somebody running the damn.
Mahomes does it, man. Mahomes does it. I tell you,
none of these people are fast, JF1.
Go ahead. My fault, Ace. Go ahead.
Especially, these quarterbacks is not as fast and as strong as JF1. The pump fake is a viable move, but
running. You won't hear me complain about he's probably the best running quarterback in the league, but
he doesn't need to be.
No, he can't. But he can't like Lamar this year. What you've seen in Lamar is probably not including the playoff against Kansas City, but it's probably the best version of him.
Yeah,
doing
more receivers.
Lamar's numbers weren't bad against KC, man. When I went back and looked at it, I'm like, everybody on Pookie.
But he just couldn't make no plays when it really mattered to get
win the game.
But his throwing is if I put it to you this way, if I felt that Justin
had more talent
at wide receiver. No, hell no. Hell no. You help make your receivers better. Let's try that for a change.
Oh, come on, man.
If I felt
St.
that he
Brown.
could,
Man, did you see all the drops?
Nothing.
Did you see the drops? They analyzed the drops we had.
The Bears
was
were
crazy.
in the top. They were in the top lower part of the league in terms of drops. Not even close. Nope.
Yeah, they weren't open.
There's
He wasn't throwing them the ball.
there's something to be said for accuracy, man.
No, we're not talking about overall
throw.
number of drops. We're talking about percentage of drops when you have the ball. The Bears receivers, Mooney had dropped 30% of the passes that he could have caught with his jugs machine in his house. That shit affects everything. Moving the chains, that affects everything, bro. Again, and your boy, my boy was worse. The one we had from Pittsburgh, he was Mooney dropped 24%, and the dude from Pittsburgh was dropping like 32% before they cut him. Drops, bro.
Yeah, but again,
and Kyler Scott was right there. Drops, bro. These are the guys that was running around outside of, DJ Moore. These were the other guys. That matters.
When you look at the Bears team, you look up the drops for the NFL this past year, the teams. The Bears are not in the top half of drops.
Because they didn't pass the ball. If you're looking at just a total number of drops, they're not going to be there. You got to look at drop percentage. That's what you got to look at.
It goes back to throwing the ball. This guy, I put it to you this way: if you're in the fourth quarter and you need a drive, as in a lot of these playoff games, and a lot of these games, I'm going. If Fields was that quarterback on that team, you already lost because you have no faith in him going down the field to get you in a position. Forget the Chiefs, any of these other teams. I'm like,
if Kelsey's out there catching the damn ball, he's throwing him the ball.
Fields is not going to go down there in a position to win.
Fucking bums out there that can't catch the ball.
Hey, if Kelsey's out there snapping on the coaching staff, like, give me the damn ball, stop calling this BS. If he had dogs out there, yeah, man, you never know, man. And let's talk Andy Reid. Andy Reid matters, man. He's been winning everywhere he's been. It matters.
Hey, he matters, but again, for the most part, everybody, the whole season, they don't have no receivers. They ain't got no receivers. They still make it to the Super Bowl and win. Right? Right?
Well, there's not one prognosticator. There's not one
feel confident with Fields having the ball? Yes. And it's a fourth quarter.
Kelsey,
and you need 3 points or 7 points, whether it's to preserve the lead, take the lead, whatever the case.
I do.
I don't.
I do. Okay, so I can mention instances where he's done it, and Mooney's dropped the ball in the corner and ends up. I'm just saying. But if you look at the overall percentage, when you look at quarterbacks, most quarterbacks, when you look at the numbers of it, they don't be doing that. What you're talking about at a high percentage level. The only ones who may have done it is Brady and Mahomes. So now let's go around and just let's go around and start comparing everybody to Michael Jordan and let's compare everybody to Michael Jordan and give me another player, Ace. Kobe Bryant. Let's just do that henceforth.
This ain't basketball.
And if they're not that, we'll move off of them and draft somebody else because we don't want to pay.
No, we're talking football.
Same thing in football. I mean, we're saying is if your quarterback is not Brady or Mahomes, we're saying move off of them is essentially what we're saying.
No, I'm saying in the fourth quarter when you need a drive,
Mahomes
to put your team in the lead, tie the game.
Right.
Oh, there's a ton more than that. Did you believe?
Okay, the one on Cincinnati. The one on Cincinnati.
Joe Burrow. Even old boy from Buffalo, Lamar Jackson. All these guys.
Whoa. Slow down.
Yes.
Joe boy from Buffalo and Lamar Jackson.
Yes, both of them. I believe that if I needed a drive to go get some points,
you can count on them more than you can JF1. You count on them.
Hell yeah. Justin Fields ain't even in the top half of the discussion. What do you mean, Justin Fields? He probably one of the worst ones. He'd be one of the ones.
No, but let's go down the list. You trust Purdy more. Let's go down the list. Purdy. What about Tua?
But those two guys you just mentioned had opportunities to do that this year.
That's what I'm saying, and they didn't do it, and they've never done it.
No. You're missing what I'm saying. I'm saying each game.
I'm talking about the playoffs.
No, we're not talking about the playoffs. Justin Fields never been in the fucking playoffs. He never been in the playoffs. So why would you be talking about the playoffs? Justin Fields never smelt the playoffs.
The playoffs get you to the Super Bowl.
Nah, Justin Fields ain't never smelt the playoffs. L boy CJ
The
Stroud.
Bears haven't
If he got
smelt
the
the
ball,
playoffs. What do you
CJ
guys think?
Stroud got the
Justin Fields?
ball.
You think Justin Fields? Do you think that who do you think would have been the quarterback of the Bears that we could have drafted that we would have smelt the playoffs?
CJ Stroud. We'd
Patrick
be in the
Mahomes.
playoffs. If we had him this year, we'd have made the playoffs.
So
with all the injuries, the Bears
we'd have
had
made
to
the
start the season.
playoffs.
What about
We'd have
Carolina?
made the playoffs.
What about Carolina?
What
Yeah.
about Carolina?
They had the number one pick.
What about them?
They drafted number one overall last year.
They drafted Bryce Young, and I picked
Right.
CJ Stroud.
So there was only a 50% chance we would
I
have
don't know.
got CJ Stroud.
I don't know if they would have made the playoffs. They'd have been
They
a whole
wouldn't
lot
have.
better. They'd have been a better team.
They
won
wouldn't have
what,
made the
like
playoffs.
1 or 2 games? They'd have been a better
You
team.
think the Bears would have been better with Bryce Young than Justin Fields last year?
This past year?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know.
So what I'm saying, so let me ask you a question. So I do trust them. I've seen them do it. The issue when I see them down the stretch is people jumping off
5-6 games.
Hold it. The issue I see is undisciplined players jumping off sides. I'm seeing offensive coordinators get the plays in late. Now there's a delay of game. I'm seeing confusion with the offensive line in the center. I'm seeing poor snap. I'm talking about what I see on final drafts and these drives that everybody's looking for Justin Fields to put on a Superman cape and, turn into God. I'm seeing them hit players and they're dropping the ball. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing them throw Hail Marys and it's dropping right in people's laps and they're dropping the ball. All this matters. I'm seeing them get us down there and they're missing field goals. I've seen it. So I know he can do it. I've seen him do it at Ohio State. So I know he can do it. It's not like he has a choke gene in him. I don't look at Justin Fields and say, oh, he's a choke. I look at it and say, damn, man, it seems like down the stretch, the left tackle decides all of a sudden to just let the best player in the game, free. That's what I see, bro. You know what I mean?
All those different variables you're saying, all the NFL teams go through the same stuff, but they still got QBs that can go
outside
and
of
get you.
We named maybe 4.
I named
5.
about 7. I named like 7. Like 7 or 8 quarterbacks.
Mahomes.
Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Joe
Burrow.
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. Purdy. Jalen Hurts.
Didn't get it done.
Even the dude in San Diego, what's his name?
They were foreign. We beat them.
But it's not about. I'm not saying what your record is. I'm saying if you need a drive in the fourth quarter to go get a lead, go tie the game. You feel
you know how many drives they needed? San Diego needed this season, and they went 4-13. He didn't get it done.
You missing what I'm saying, bro? It's not that you're going to win the game. I'm saying that you feel that your quarterback can take you down the field.
Okay,
I never felt that with Justin Fields.
Okay, I'll give you him. I'll give you him. That's 6. Who else?
As long as you feel good, no matter what they do. As long as you feel good.
Yeah. No matter what the stats, no matter what the records actually show that they've done in these situations.
Tua, if you need some points, I
trust Tua.
Put him up there.
Go down there. You trust him more than Justin. I got
They
you.
want to get rid of him too. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, they do. They want to move off Tua. They do.
No, actually, the dude said he loves Tua.
So what I'm saying is, it gets to be around 7, 8, 9. And so now you got the rest of the quarterbacks, and that's all I'm saying. And I like Justin. If we can ever get an offense and get him competent where he needs to be, now when plays break down, Justin, man.
Green Bay quarterback. Throw him in there. Yes, all day.
All right, listen.
Green Bay quarterback is in the upper echelon of the NFL.
Okay, if y'all notice, Justin.
And you could throw. I wouldn't
hold it. If y'all notice, Justin had gotten very adept at running and moving the chains. He had gotten very adept at that towards.
You put him in there.
Come on, man. You throwing Dak and Jordan Love in that you count on.
Yes, if you need a drive to go get points, do you feel confident that they could get you points? That's my whole point of the argument.
They didn't get it done.
Well, I'm as confident in Justin Fields as I am in Jordan Love and Dak Prescott.
I bet against them every time. And I guarantee you I ain't gonna lose over the course of the season.
But that's because that's because it's the team. I bet if you had done the same thing with that quarterback from San Diego, you'd have been losing.
And you've got put CJ Stroud in there too. It's a bunch of quarterbacks that I would feel, hey, this guy can put the team in the position to
They'll catch
go
up with
take the
him next
lead,
year.
tie the game, something like that. I don't feel that confidence at all with Justin Fields in the fourth quarter. I just don't, bro. I'm sorry.
Look who's he's throwing to.
You say that. You can say that whatever. Look at he's throwing to. Look at it's an excuse. It's an
It's not an
excuse, bro.
excuse.
Okay.
He's
Bro,
throwing to
Okay.
bums.
We're gonna
bro,
put the all decade team with him. Let's see what he does.
bro, no professional has said that they feel like if CJ Stroud or Patty Mahomes had come to Chicago, that they would be who they are today. Now, if most people feel that way in the situation that Justin's been placed in, then obviously they're not saying these guys would suck or be lesser players. They just said they wouldn't have the success that they've had so far, right? That's all they're saying, So that's mighty funny with Justin Fields, Ace. These same people who down him and talk, not you, Diesel, but who talk about his game. Oh, he'll fit so good in Atlanta. Oh, he'll look real good in Pittsburgh. Oh, he'll look good in Washington. So if he can look that damn good there, why can't he look damn good in Chicago? That's the question I like to ask everybody, all the meatheads. Go ahead, Diesel.
It's the scheme, and the scheme ain't been good for him since he got here. And to be quite honest, even the scheme at Ohio State, well, it's a little harder to tell in college. But the reason they say Atlanta and the coach at Atlanta ain't there no more. But the scheme that they were running, it suits his abilities and talents more so.
And he likes turf. He likes indoor. He's on record. He's from there. He likes turf. He likes indoor. He's on record saying that.
And it's almost like a hybrid scheme, so to speak, or kind of like what the Ravens used to do more so. That they changed it a little more to passing this year. But that's why you hear them saying in Atlanta. Now, where did they coach go? Because he ain't there, that Arthur Smith dude. Where did he go? Right. What team did he go? He went to somewhere. He's like the coordinator somewhere else, ain't he?
No, they figure they can wear the shirt with his nipples out in Atlanta.
Right, in Atlanta and fit in around. Yeah.
That's why they want
to. Right,
because they ain't going to have the same scheme, then I don't, if Fields went there, who's to say you don't get another coordinator that wants to do something different than what he's good
I'm just saying, when people talk about, he could get a 1 for him, you can get a 2 for him, and I want to throw it to you, Ace, and then we're going to wrap this up. Fields, why is everybody saying, oh, he look good? They sit there and talk about what he did and didn't do in Chicago, and then in the very next breath, they talk about,
he'd be great in this other city.
Yeah, with this other coach and with this other system. So now we have a new coach, Diesel, and we have a new system. But Ace, what do you say about this? How does that make you feel? There's a conspiracy, I think.
I think it's a bunch of crap. He needs more talent and his coaching staff, which the Bears have addressed, and he needs more talent in his receiving corps, what the Bears are going to address in free agency and letting some guys go. These guys on 1-year contracts like your Equanimous St. Browns and
Braxton Jones was his left tackle.
Yeah, it's a 6th-round pick. Tyler Scott will move down to your 5th or 6th receiver. You go in the draft, you pick up these studs in the 1st round that are available. You pick up a tight end, like maybe a Schultz out of Houston that's available.
Get Saquon.
Yeah, you get you a real running back that can block for your quarterback. You get your left tackle and a center, and you're looking at playing football. But, to put him out there after 1 year after rebuild with half of the team that in your receiving corps that was part of a rebuild
with $140 million under the cap ain't spent. I mean, come on, man, that's telling you the talent. Go ahead, Ace.
Yeah. But they need to improve the talent on the offensive side. I think they can get a Hunter out of Minnesota on your defensive side to put on the other side of Sweat. So you got 2 studs chasing down the other team's quarterback. And that makes your secondary better, which is already good. And then you go out and build up your offense around on your quarterback that's running a 4.3, 4.4 40, and the players you already got, and you're looking at challenging for the division next year,
And you're
get to the
sitting on
playoffs.
draft capital, Ace, that's going to keep you relevant for the next 7 to 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what you got to do to build your team, and that's basically what
What he
San
said,
Fran
what
has done.
Poles said he was going to do, though.
Yeah,
Right, what KC did was saying, and that's what the president keeps saying, Diesel. He's like, I
trust the
saw it happen
process.
in KC. Yeah, he's like, I saw it happen. Yeah, trust the process.
Now
You know?
they
Yeah,
looked
the
up. They
only
look
thing
up and a
is that
generational quarterback, all pro, all world quarterback, fell to him in the draft, as along with what they've been doing in the draft.
And
So
Diesel, hold your question. I want to hear it. Ace said, I want to ask Ace why he said this. Ace said immediately last year, after that number one quarterback, after Carolina took the number one quarterback, Ace said that pick we got from them is going to be number one overall, and that came to play. What made you say that?
because I mean the team and the gouging of their organization that they did at the end of the year, you knew that they weren't going to be shit. And it proved out that they couldn't compete in the NFL this year with the number one pick in the draft. And y'all think that just drafting Caleb Williams number one and bringing him to Chicago is going to put them in the
be right back,
playoffs?
y'all.
Do you
Yeah.
think if they would have got Stroud, uh, Carolina would have drafted Stroud, that this pick still would be where it is?
No, they wouldn't have been the number one team in the draft. They probably would have been they'd been top five, but I mean, Carolina organization, yeah,
They said
it was
Carolina's head coach
set up to succeed.
wanted the other coach.
Stroud.
He wanted the other quarterback, and that's why he ultimately
Yeah,
got fired. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Stroud was a bigger, stronger,
Uh-huh.
better pick,
Christian.
and yeah, and yeah, he's a
Mm-hmm.
Christian. So I think it would have worked out for them.
But they said
May,
he didn't do well on the Wonderlic Mooley test. They said he tested
the
low on that.
Rorschach or whatever test they
Uh-huh.
came. Yeah,
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 he didn't test
yeah,
well on that.
yeah. We're testing for football, and he looked like a football player to me. And Bryce Young
Bro, I
he's
would hire a monkey to take that test for me. I would tell him, hey, I had a monkey do it. Now, if you want me
yeah,
to play football, we're gonna play football. You want me to do monkey shimes? You hire him.
yeah.
Well, let's jump to topic. What's the history and significance of African American performers at the Super Bowl halftime show? How are they influencing the culture and the politics of the event? So the Super Bowl is a big shebang. People all over the world are watching it, bro. Non-fans, non-football fans. But when the Super Bowl comes, it's part of the American culture. It's like the Grammys. It's like the Academy Awards. But usually, a lot of times it's us, foundationally Black Americans that are performing. What's the history and significance of that in you guys' mind?
What's the question?
How do you what's the history and significance of African American performers at the Super Bowl halftime show, and how have these performers influenced our culture and politics of the Super Bowl itself over the years?
Well, I mean, I think. Go ahead.
Now, I was going to say we've had the best performances by far. The best national anthems being sung, the best halftime shows.
Is it exploitation?
It is, because they don't pay you for it, but you get paid.
They used to
actually
pay.
Yeah, it comes back indirectly. So basically, usually people who perform on there, they have like a tour or something set up.
Oh yeah.
Right after that, and they get it back.
Well, even if they're getting paid, is it exploitation? Is it like culture vulture? Is it okay, on the one hand we could get up here and dance and share our culture. On the other hand, when one of us wants to kneel or put up a black fist and talk about other things affecting our culture like police brutality, then that's a big no-no. But it's okay to dance and shake your bum and have, wardrobe malfunctions and take off your shirt.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because if you're a performer or whatever, you want to perform on what you consider to be the biggest stages. Because I think it was turned off.
Go ahead, Ace.
Yeah, I think looking at the history of the Super Bowl halftime shows, back before it was mainly dominated by, the colored or black performers. Uh, it, it sucked. Um, looking back this week they had nonprofits performing the Super Bowl halftime, or you had hit that mute. Nah. You had different non really entertaining like the Carpenters, or different types of acts that weren't really conducive to entertainment during the halftime shows, that it really wasn't entertaining per se to people viewing the Super Bowl, this big marketing event for the NFL. So then they bring in a Michael Jackson, or you bring in a Prince, or you bring in these Ushers and Beyonces and these
Yeah,
different groups.
and what you just said, the Michael Jacksons, the Princes, okay, fine. Usher's legend too, but yeah, bro, like I don't. I'd say I probably watch 50% of the halftime shows. Like when I be talking to people about it, they be like, "Yeah, you see, no, I'll be watching the game, and at halftime, I was probably
Yeah.
recovering, went to use the bathroom,
Yeah,
cooking, making some chicken. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, smoking. I mean, whatever, smoking your drink, whatever the hell
Right
you
now,
doing
unless
halftime.
it's a Michael Jackson or a Whitney Houston, certain
Uh,
people,
uh,
you know what I
iconic
mean?
figure, yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Dre,
I
I
mean,
watched that one when Dre did the West Coast thing. I did watch
yeah,
that one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
even when I was in the Super Bowl at 2013 in New Orleans, the lights went out. I'm at a cigar bar,
yeah,
smoking a cigar, and I went to take a leak. During this particular
yeah.
halftime show. So I mean, it's not important to me because you can now you can always just look it up on YouTube the next day and see whatever the hell you wanted to see. But
I mean, is it coddling though? Like, does it at this point? Do these performers have to be black? I mean, like you can get
if you
Justin
want
Bieber,
if you want entertainment, yeah.
but I
If
mean, you
you
can
want
get
to
Justin
entertain,
Bieber and Taylor
yeah.
Swift
Who's
and
who's the guy that did the national anthem? The Post Malones, or
yeah, yeah,
the Jack
Eminem,
Harlow's of the world, or the
yeah.
Eminems. Yeah,
Bruno
yeah, you can
Mars.
do that. Yeah, I mean Bruno Mars. I'm sure he might be on tap for next year. And I checked that out the next day on
Oh,
YouTube.
I literally picked up a dude told me he had autism from USC. He was in math. He's a pink dude. And he literally said, "Yeah, I thought about Diesel. I want to call Diesel." He literally said, "I had mentioned something about athletes. We were talking about intelligence." And he was like, entertainers and athletes are no different than a circus clown." He sure said it. He's like, they shouldn't talk on politics. He sure said it. He
Shut
was
up and
like,
dribble.
no, yeah, he had that autism. He was brilliant though in a lot of ways. I was
Yeah,
like, boy, you don't have social cues. I want to tell him, boy, you sitting there talking to a black man who was probably an athlete. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, he had the autism. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. I wanted to tell him my friend feels like one of those athletes has autism because he says everyone with autism is brilliant. So, all right. So now is this guy a circus clown? What about athletes who have autism? Yeah. All right. But how do you explain okay, so you guys know my premise here by the title of this particular podcast. But how do you explain this alleged phenomenon of Stockholm syndrome among some African Americans who support the NFL despite its history of racism, exploitation, and oppression of black players and activists? Because, as you guys know, I had stopped watching the games too, and really to this
Yeah.
point, I only watch the Bears now, which I still feel, is a level of coonery. And I definitely, watch the playoffs, but I don't miss money. Like if I'm home, I'll
Yeah.
watch the playoffs. So how do y'all,
Right.
I mean, why do we do it? I mean, talk to me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's basically like the support of the country. I mean, between what
Mm,
the
mm,
United States or the country does to us
mm,
as African Americans, and
mm. You're saying like even
the
military and everything, right? Why do we do
yeah,
any?
yeah. Why are
Shit.
we doing any of it? If we're put at a lower class, or we can't achieve this, that, and the other based on
Right, right,
our color.
right,
Why are we doing anything?
right,
You know.
right, right.
Yeah, it's
Well,
tough
Diesel,
to
before you chime in, I'm gonna say because it somehow at some point it became a way of life, man. I grew up the football games as on. I had two older brothers. I come to school, just keeping it 100. Um, I'll come to school. Hold on a second. I'll come to school, and other guys was talking about the game, and and you be at events with the family, and the uncles and everybody's watching the game and talking about the game, and it was always talking about our teams was losing. Our teams were always losing. But like I said, the Super Bowl just for me, like I didn't understand the politics of America. I was just a kid enjoying a kid's game and watching it on TV and had my heroes on the screen, whether it was O.J. Simpson to Walter Payton. So, and then I
OJ.
guess I've been addicted ever since. Yeah,
OJ.
Tony Dorsett, Diesel, Stockholm syndrome. Why do you watch it? Why do we watch it? Moreover,
And I was like little, just used to watch. And actually, man, I remember just watching the highlights. And this is back when you only would get like CBS or NBC, and they'll had the highlight show. So when my dad would come home from work, and I'm like 3, 4, and I'm telling them scores of games and who caught what and who did what. And then just as you keep growing up, you just keep on watching, and you just get accustomed to the sport because you realize that it's a lot of people who look like you that are playing these sports. So you get accustomed to, hey, this person, you're more affiliated with that, what's going on as far as the game. When even though with football, it's hard to see them because they usually got the helmets on, especially when you're a little kid. But as you keep growing up, you get more familiar with it. You like it, you play it, you're ripping and running.
and it was like
So
you said, and it was more of a rite of passage too when we was coming up, like playing in the street, playing
Yeah.
in front of your house, playing in the park. You know what I mean? Like for
all the
boys, I know
time,
it's different. They don't really do that no more. But yeah, yeah, all that was like part of like coming up. It wasn't just fighting and shooting and doing crimes. It was, you had your pecking order, how good you could, compete on that football field, on that
called
baseball
different
diamond.
things like
Yeah.
Yeah.
out.
We
Look, so remember, as I'm real little,
we
I'm in
wouldn't worry about the
California.
guy couldn't read.
So they would say, "Hey, let's go play smear the queer." This is what they call it. This is
Yeah.
smear the queer.
Yeah.
And I said it was smear the queer, and it was another name.
Yeah.
I get to Chicago, and they're like, "Kill a man, kill a
Yeah,
man with the
Mhm.
ball.
Yeah.
Let's
Or
play kill.
cream.
Let's play kill."
Cream. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But in California, back then they called it smear the queer and
Yeah.
something else, some other weird
yeah.
name.
We didn't have
But it
Yeah.
that
was the
smear
same
queer
same
in
game,
Yeah,
Chicago.
same game.
we called it cream at Drop Dead Gorgeous William A. Trey. We
Yeah, we
called it
got
cream. I was good at cream, boy.
killer
I should know.
quarterback.
I used to know when to scoop it up so I can get in there. It was times when I don't want that. I'm not touching that football. I'm smarter than y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
processing. But
yeah,
even then, though, we knew there was no black quarterbacks really. And they would
yeah,
sit there and it was talk about. And you remember Al Campanis, and people would sit there and make racist statements. Even they
yeah.
still kind of subtly do it today when they're announcing the games. It's more of a
Yeah.
dog whistle. But
That's
then it was
smart
more
though.
in your face. And at some point, you went from to you
Nice.
know, but
And
yet,
he just called me a coon.
yeah, but yet we still watch. And I
Right.
mean, I'm depressed that the season's over right now.
Well, and honestly, because think about it, the ownership, you wasn't gonna have
The owners, you heard
no
that?
black, no, you're not gonna have no black owners
Still
who can
hasn't
start their
changed.
own league back then. You see what I'm
It's still
saying?
not.
I mean, you could have, but is it gonna be televised? Is it gonna be what people can see? Think
You could
about
have,
like
but then you're
it
still
would have
not.
been, yeah, it'd have been tough. Like the Negro leagues with
Yeah,
baseball.
Yeah,
See what I'm saying?
it would have been like the 3-on-3 league with Snoop
Ice
Dogg
Cube.
and I mean Ice Cube. And you know what? I need to I need to support that more. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's something to
So
do.
it's very, very tough to do. Uh, and I guess, when you're little, and even those players who are playing, you're like, hey man, we want to play with the best. And there are a lot of good uh, Caucasian players and stuff, so you want to
Absolutely,
play,
there still are,
still a lot,
and
and you
Yeah.
want to
and
play
you bring up a good
and
point. And
compete with the best.
you know what's weird about football?
Y'all still don't
As
like Vince Young. I mean,
but
Vince Evans.
but as racist as the institution, like they say, what God intends for bad becomes good. It does seem to be a bonding in some ways. Like I can go to a random bar in a white area where they don't necessarily we don't take too kindly. But if I'm wearing a Bears jersey and it's a Bears bar, hey, sit down, have a
Bad
drink,
down.
get
Yeah.
in, or you
Yeah.
tailgating,
Yeah.
So it's crazy
instant
how,
instant
yeah,
relation.
it was
Yeah,
built off
Hmm.
instant correlation.
racism because it started in the military, which was built off racism, right? But now it's a unifying thing through like migrants even come over here and they watch again. Of course, they cheer when the kicker comes out. I'd be looking at me, the kicker's coming out, man. Get back here. Here comes the
Oh,
kicker.
ole!
Yeah, they like the kicker. Boy, they
Let's go.
love the kicker. In Europe, yeah, they love the kicker. But yeah, man, that's an interesting dichotomy, man. Supposedly these quote unquote owners are so racist and everybody up and through, but somehow the game unifies us in America. How can African American fans and consumers leverage our power and influence and our influence to demand more accountability and representation from the league and its sponsors? And before y'all chime in, I want to say when I say representation, bro, it's stuff that nobody talks about that I was thinking about during the Super Bowl. Let's say if Diesel had a company, it might not be as big as McDonald's, but it might be like Harold's, you know. Um, Man, run a 30-second ad, you know what I mean,
Mm.
during the Super Bowl game of that business or something like that. So that's just some of the thoughts I had. But what can we do like to leverage? Because they're milking our culture, they're milking our
Mm.
talent. Um, but
Like
that's America, right?
like
That's the
what you
thing.
just like what
Go
you
ahead.
just said that what you just said, like doing an ad or something to relate to the culture of, for a business that's being run by minorities, black folks in
Yeah,
particular. um I make this point all the time in regards to comic books, right? Like Disney owns Marvel, right?
you guys check
There
the Self Love Show. Diesel
there
did an ex set with us and did an excellent job talking about the way you can make money in comics and everything.
they're they're so
Okay.
hell strong on making money, profit, and they forget the original roots of where their stuff comes from the books, right? But the
Right.
comic book shop owners having a tough time, real tough time, right? So,
Mm.
and I was talking to this dude one day. I said, "Man, you know what?" I said, "Do you ever watch bowling?" He says, occasionally if I catch it or whatever. I said, "You notice though, whenever you watch a bowling event, when there's commercials, they're telling you go out and support your local leagues, go out
They
and
are.
support the PBA, go out
They
and do this,
selling
go out."
bowling balls and shit.
I said, "Have you ever seen anything that Disney put out that was from Marvel or any of their other movies where they said during their movie or before the movie, go out and
Support your
support your
local
local
comic.
comic
Yeah,
shop,
yeah.
No.
go out and read."
No,
So
Disney's not
never
gonna do that.
they never do.
Disney's a conglomerate. They would
Support
go out and
Disney.
crush your local comic spot and go to
Yeah.
Amazon and order from us.
And
Yeah.
what you just said kind of correlates to what the NFL. You need like what could the NFL do? I just heard them say like last week where they're saying, hey, they're looking to get I don't think it was the NFL though. It was a what freaking sport was it? But they were whatever the sport was, they were saying Vegas get a pro team. And I think was it baseball?
Might be
It,
NBA,
or it might have been the NBA.
but Ace said the A's
Yeah.
are moving to Vegas. The Oakland A's are moving to Vegas.
And did you hear what the damn lady who's like the mayor of Vegas? She said they got mad at her too. She was like, they're better off just staying in Oakland because of stuff with the stadium and all this. It was like that. Why
Yeah,
don't you
she
just
won't be
stay in?
mayor.
Why don't they
By
just
the
stay in Oakland and figure it out or something
by
like
the
that? They
by the
got
time
pissed off at her.
by the time they get there, she won't be the mayor
No, she
anymore.
won't be the
Yeah,
mayor. She's
yeah.
already they already told her, pack your shit.
But so the next expansion team, right? Because sooner or
Mhm.
later the NFL gonna get another, have another team. That's
Yeah,
how
but
you
when you
keep going.
expand, you can't expand with them odd numbers. You got to come with like 4 teams. But go ahead.
However many it may be. At least if it's 2, at least 1. If it's 3, at least 2 should be
Mhm.
majority black owned. There's
Yeah,
enough. There's enough black people with money. There's
Yeah, but it'll be
investors.
Nigerian. It's gonna be Nigerians and Indians, and you guys are gonna be satisfied with that.
No, 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 no. We said black owned. I
I'm
just
just
seen
telling you
a
what's gonna
no.
happen.
I know you're playing devil's advocate, but I
Yeah.
just seen a thing. That said Usher, he invested like 1% into the Cleveland Cavaliers. Back in like the early 2000s or
I
something.
oh
just
yeah,
saw a thing that said P. Diddy gave Usher herpes. But
Ugh,
what I mean. But go ahead.
that's I ain't got nothing to do with that. But
Nobody does.
uh,
just
but
PD the
now
Asher.
look at what the and the Cavs I think at that time were worth like a couple of $100 million or something like that, and now they're worth
Mhm.
like something over
Yeah.
billions.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that type of stuff, and remember, he's just a real small minority owner.
minority owner, like
Yeah,
Magic
super
Johnson.
small. But we want NFL. You do another team. The first one should be black owned. The
How
majority
can we
black.
leverage it though? We've looked
You
and Ace, I'm authority. No, that's good. I like that. And I love that. And even though like I know y'all have seen it, we'll be like, look at the black players. We blame the players. They're always at these events with these little white kids, and these white kids are shaking their hand and they're signing autographs, and that stuff be out in Hinsdale and stuff. But yeah, the NFL could be a little more hands-on-y with making sure that they're in the community doing it. I feel like I should be seeing them a lot more in the worst neighborhoods, and I don't see
Yeah,
them at all. Where these players are coming from. Go ahead, Ace.
right.
And then Diesel.
Well, piggyback on what Diesel was saying, my take was it should be ownership. It's ownership of the next franchises coming into the NFL. It's ownership of instead of sending the NFL teams to England, why can't we go to some of these Caribbean countries? Why can't we go to these countries that's close to the United States, like uh, Mexico? Why can't we go to
Mexico City, yeah, they've been talking about
Mexico
that.
City? Why can't we go to Jamaica? Why can't these games that you're getting players out of Jamaica, you're getting players out of Caribbean, you're getting players out of Mexico in the NBA and the NFL.
You're
Why
getting them
can't
out of Nigeria now.
yeah, yeah. Why can't we support these areas instead of going to traditional England or these traditionally pink cities to promote the NFL as we're promoting back into the neighborhoods or building a stadium on the southeast side of Chicago, where you're developing areas that have been traditionally ignored and building stadiums and schools and 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 and,
But you
and
guys keep
team.
talking ownership. How do we know, like in the city of Chicago, they'll have
Yeah,
contracts and they'll be like, these are contracts for Coons, city contracts. These are for Ray Rays and Pookies. We want to give back. And then you look up and it's nothing but the white boys doing the work, or maybe a few of your Hispanics out there. You don't see the brothers doing the job. How do we prevent uh, shell ownership? A sham ownership. You got me up there, and then they
That's what
run
you're
me out
talking
there as
about.
the
How do we
owner. But
leverage them
yeah, how do we make
to
sure it's
make
really
sure that they
yes,
do
that they're in charge,
um,
that they're
yeah. Well, I mean, you got the DNC coming in soon to the convention here, and you got owners of restaurants that I've been in or restaurants you've been in, Soul Vegetarian, the Lux
oh,
Cafe that
great
just opened
food.
up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that
um,
they're on the list of vendors that the DNC is going in and helping or meeting at or having meetings at that that boots on the ground, that they're,
Oh boy, he
they're
mentioned the
supporting.
DNC, and I think Coach is watching. Go ahead.
Even the place that if you remember when Beyonce was here in the summer, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z was with her.
Jigga.
And he said he wanted to go, he
My
wanted
nigga.
some soul food, right?
Yeah.
He said he wanted
Yeah.
some soul food.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
He wants
So
barbecue.
he looked up, found the spot. Lo and behold, the restaurant that he went to, which is right over there, like kind of slight Hyde Park area.
It's in Hyde Park,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The dude who owns it,
Black on.
kid you not. And that, if you ever watched the Benji 30 for 30, he
Mm-hmm.
was he was like Benji's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Right up in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I knew like 85% of the guys in that 30 for 30.
Mario Coleman. And he said when Jay-Z walked in, he was like, is that Jay-Z? Because you can tell by that crazy hair he got now. And just random. And
you know what?
Like,
we need to look up those guys, Diesel, and reach out to them and see if we can have we could do a series on Mouthpiece Included covering Benji Wilson. Like sit them down, have them come on the show and tell Benji's, man, that'd be great, man.
Yeah, and he says, man, Jay-Z came in there, he ordered like his, the best dish that he usually cooks up and cooked it up for him. And then it was funny because, as some customers would come in, it was like, is that Jay-Z? And then they couldn't help but notice it's like stretch type car outside.
Right. Security and shit.
And this girl, this one young black girl, she was like, is that Jay-Z in there for real? And by this time they got him on camera and stuff. It's like, and he rolled the window down. She said, I get a picture with you. It's my birthday. Then he takes some selfies with her, and then she said, my birthday actually tomorrow. He's like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. He took the pictures with her and everything. But he said he wanted to go eat some soul food. They said, hey, this place on the south side is decent. And they wasn't too far because she was at Soldier Field.
And they sent him to a soft part of the south side too, as far as Hyde Park. You know what I mean? You can get in, get out. People tend to have jobs. You got your everyday Pookie and Ray Rays roaming through the city, and I know it's gotten a lot worse. And big ups to Pookie and Ray Ray. I love them.
And that guy who owns that place,
Hyde Park is a softer place. I tell tourists, you can slip in and out of it.
Hey, the guy who owns that place, we used to play against them, our block against their block.
Yeah.
Football, straight tackle. And they were like the bigger boys. They were like 5 years older than me at that time.
Yeah.
And I'm used to play with them. But it was good to see. But that type of inclusion, you know what I'm saying? That word of mouth gets out, gets spread.
Yeah, we got to set them up for catering for the NFL,
catering,
DNC, RNC, or whatever his industry is, and we got to be included in the beginning, not just somebody show up for the concert and we just happen to go by there. Yeah. I mean, so
that's why the ownership is like important.
It is ownership over slave ship. So this is the last one, and then anything y'all want to do on this topic y'all can as we close out. The last question I had is, what are some of the benefits and challenges of potentially boycotting or supporting the Super Bowl as a form of protest or solidarity within the Black community? So what if I know it'll never happen. But what if that happened and all the Black players, Super Bowl came up, all the Black players, Ace and his Super Bowl parking lot pimping team decided they're not going to travel to New Orleans. Your everyday Black performer decides, hey, you know what I mean? We're not going to perform. So what would that look like, and what would be some of the benefits and challenges of? I'll tell you what, if you can get every Black man in America to not watch a football game, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna shake your hand and buy you a steak. But go ahead, you guys give.
Well, I wouldn't even say they're not playing. For the players, that would be a little too much for them.
But that'd be a lot to ask, huh? Your lifelong dream, and you get to the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't put that on them. But let's say the performances, right, for the halftime.
Okay.
No Black artists do them. Right? I mean, that ain't the end all for performance, right? I mean, it helps.
Lil Nas X gonna run his ass up there. But go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm listening.
But same thing. It's just I'm kind of relating this to the same thing that we've been hearing over the years for the Grammys and Oscars and Emmys. They always saying, "Oh, let's boycott." But it seems like people only sit out the one year that they got shafted for a performance or for a record or something.
Will Smith was set out the year that he wasn't, the year that he was,
slapping somebody.
But we're the trendsetters in style, so let's see if they can have a Grammys where there was no black entertainers on the card. Let's see if they can keep doing Super Bowl halftimes with no black artists. Let's see how it would look. After a while, people gonna be like, man,
you're saying if the Big Mics didn't show up to get arrested, right? How would that look?
Yeah.
If he's not even there, no other black people are there.
None of them there to accept awards, perform.
None of them showing up, giving it that swagger.
Yeah.
Kodak Black. None of them showing up and walking the red carpet, going to them parties, nothing.
Something's gonna give because they're gonna be like, wait a minute, we can't do this without them.
Like these black folks that come together.
Yeah, we need this inclusion. So I could see something like that helping out. I mean,
but if you're not going to hold the athletes to the standard of not going to the Super Bowl, you got to hold the entertainers to the standard. They should be able to go up there and get their 4 trophies.
Well, see, here's the thing. It's for entertainers. Is a Grammy really that?
I see what you're saying. It's not the performance. It's not the apex performance. I got what you.
Yeah. It's not the end all.
It's not like you're asking them not to perform in the United Center in front of a sold out crowd.
In front of a sold out crowd, they can still do that.
Fair enough.
Get their money.
Fair enough.
It's
you're
just
not performing at Lollapalooza. Yeah.
It's just something that they're judged on to get this award by most people that are not their peers or the fans.
But it'd be a much bigger impact if a good majority of your Pookies and Ray Rays sat out the game too.
It would be, but again, that would be real hard to ask people from that, you know what I mean? From since you're a kid and you're like, man, I want to play in the Super Bowl.
And they're under contract.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? They could be losing a lot of money. But go ahead, Ace. And they got families and mouths to feed and,
Yeah. The chances of that happening are slim and none. Matter of fact, Bernie Mac had a joke about that.
R.I.P. Bernie Mac, big ups.
Big ups to Bernie Mac. He was on the gates of heaven. And they said he wasn't getting in. And, he's talking to this guy on the side. He's like, man, what do I need to get in? And they was like, well, you go up to the gates and ask. He's like, Lord, man, what do I need to get in? And he was like, well, just tell me something, that's. I'm gonna keep that joke to later on. But anyway,
are you kidding me? Is this guy serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm gonna hold that.
That was
later
a horrible story. All right,
another day.
This guy,
No.
Big Percocets.
Yeah, Big Perk. Hold on to that later on. But the fact that for us to stick together and to possibly boycott the NFL and the Super Bowl as far as entertaining and playing, the likelihood of that happening and it making a big impact would be a supreme impact. But we didn't stick behind Colin Kaepernick when he just wanted to save Black lives by kneeling down prior to the games during the national anthem. The fact that the boycott of the Super Bowl would happen and entertainment of the Super Bowl would happen would be highly unlikely. So would it make an impact?
No. You're a very good point. Because that very Super Bowl where they brought in Dr. Dre, remember we were talking. You're right. We were talking about boycotting in. That's a good point. Yeah. And they said we'll make it a whole thing. We'll honor Black folks. Yeah.
Well, and then that was Jay-Z in charge.
And Eminem got to kneel, and they let Eminem kneel. And
yeah. So Jay-Z was kind of he was in charge of that whole performance. But like,
you're right. That's when they brought Jay-Z to talk to the owners.
Yeah.
Brought him off the plantation and brought him in the big house, and he had to sit down with the owners and fix everything.
Yeah. And his fix could have been, I need to be the next owner of an NFL team, but I don't.
I think that's what they said was going on, that he was trying to maneuver, and maybe that's what he was promised. But you know how that goes.
Yeah.
It's
40 acres and a mule sooner or later.
Like the NBA, the way they do entertainers, it's different, but it's it's more they move the needle more towards what's right than probably any other league as far as the major leagues, as far as baseball, basketball, and football. Oh boy, he's moved what they've done in the NBA. It's moved the needle more so than any other big sports. And their halftime shows that they
Allegedly.
do.
So wait. Are you guys going to tell me that Michael Jordan? Well, let's leave him out. He's on the team. Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, Bob Johnson, Will Smith, Magic Johnson, Jay-Z, that these guys, these people can't put their coins together and put one of these teams together and buy a professional sports team? Is there some barrier preventing this, or is the barrier us not working together?
Professional sports team or NFL team?
Right. Which one are you talking about?
That's a good one. Let's say NFL team.
No.
You ain't gonna get you. It's the owners. The owners control.
They vote on who.
It's a good old boys network.
Yeah,
they got to vote in the teams. You see how they do with rules changes? Got to be so many. They be playing political bars behind. Hey, when you do this deal with me, I'm gonna back you on that situation.
Oh, so you're saying it's like Vatican City with the Pope when they voting on the new
all of that. All of that.
Infighting, backstabbing.
What do you think? Who was that Jerry Jones was supporting, and they wanted him to go against him, and he wouldn't. That's the type of stuff they play behind the scenes. Man.
Was it the Oakland coach? Was it Al Davis? Because I know they didn't like Al Davis for a long time.
No, it was a different situation, but that was like almost the whole league.
I don't think Al Davis was ever part of the old boy system. Papa Bear Hallis wasn't part of it either.
Yeah. No, Al Davis was not. Al Davis sued the NFL.
Yeah,
and won.
Pittsburgh's owner's not part of it either. The Rooney
they're not.
He wasn't part of it.
Nope.
So
I don't think a lot of the foundational teams were part of that. I don't think KC's owner was part of that. Yeah. I don't think the Packers, Lombardi, I don't think they was part of that, or whoever they was.
But they were just they're waiting on these guys to die, or their family members to die. They're waiting on Virginia to die.
And the Packers are owned by the city now. You're right. Yeah. And then they're gonna move in somebody from the old boy system to replace them.
Yeah, they try to control it. And when they let in, it's very small, specific.
Aluminum booty.
Like, who was the last owner that came in? Was it Jacksonville? Was the last new owner in the NFL?
Yeah.
And then Houston, I think, was it Houston? Because they remember how they
moved the team, and the Oilers became the Oilers.
They remember they were going to move the owner out from Houston because he was making them racial comments and stuff. But I don't think they moved them.
Man, if you're moving owners for making racial comments, you wouldn't have any ownerships in the NFL.
Right. In the NBA, that's how they get richer. Let's just make a racial comment.
I tell y'all what, go ahead, final words, but I just wanted to let y'all know I've been watching that Clipper Stadium come up, man. And man, let me tell you something. Ballmer, man, you see the team of construction work. That place is coming up so fast, and you think the tech, what you saw in Vegas, Ace, you think, on that stadium, you think that impressed you? You know what I mean?
I actually like Ballmer too, man.
I seen the tech for the Clipper Stadium and the concepts they got going for that stadium.
Oh, look at him. He's been doing research. He's been processing these. Oh, look at that.
It's going to be quite impressive. And they're building that out of the ground just like SoFi. And
SoFi is impressive, man. That's what I'm saying. Hey, your boy, the Bears president said, he's not going with a dome, so I can bury that dream. But he said that
allegedly,
he said the retractable dome is not worth the price that you spend for it.
Right.
He said most people don't use it, but he is going with the open concept as far as that glass, so that natural sunlight could come in, and so it might be all right. But I think y'all going soft on me in Chicago, man, with this dome stuff. We went to Super Bowl, man. Nobody want to be in Chicago in February running around, man. Nobody wants to be there anyway. You know what I mean? We gonna win Super Bowl. That's all a big fantasy. Go ahead.
Just like
Indianapolis done had it twice.
Yeah, and nobody went there.
Had the Super Bowl like
Ace
twice.
lives 35 minutes from there and travels across country and hasn't been to the Super Bowl in Indianapolis yet.
Even New York had the Super Bowl. So yeah, I ain't hating. Let Chicago have one.
Yeah, the All Star
Nobody wants
games
to
in
be there.
Indy this weekend. I had no intentions on going.
Nobody wants to be there. All right, Diesel, give me your final words, and then I'm gonna throw it to Ace, and we close out.
Final words. February gonna be a huge draft. Uh, keep formulating your mock drafts as we get information, and let's see what happens as far as the Bulls. Same thing as we said about the beginning of the year. We ain't sweating it because they ain't going nowhere. They ain't doing nothing. They done exactly what we thought they would do. They are who we thought they were.
Playoffs.
And spring training, man, I don't even know who. I'm kind of sad when I think about baseball because Tim Anderson ain't with the Sox no more.
They
I don't
talking
even
about
know.
knocking down your shittos that you
They,
love so much and building a new one, Diesel.
well, I don't like it since they changed the damn
Oh,
name.
now you don't like it.
I like to sell. I don't like no guaranteed rake my ass.
Shithole
Man,
stadium.
yeah, to go ahead and tear it down, build a new one. It's better than Wrigley Field, though. It's still better than Wrigley Field.
Now, how the Sox can have two stadiums since they built one over there on the north side is a mystery to me.
Maybe the Bears can build where the Sox move from. But go ahead, Diesel. These your final word.
And outside of that, man, that's pretty much it. If you want to talk about with the leagues, yeah, we'd have to leverage something to make them bend to get more inclusion. I think who is that? Didn't D Wade become like a part on Utah for the Jazz? I'm
Oh,
pretty
is he?
sure he did.
Is
Yeah,
he?
Yeah.
yeah, and not a little small stake. I think he got a little significant stake with the Jazz.
Fruitcake stick.
But yeah, we have to figure out different ways to leverage to make them bend to stuff that's more helpful and supportive for our cause and our people. And quite honestly, like you said, Mills, I don't see a lot of that on the ground, grassroots running, helping, whether it be from former players or
Passing out
former
food baskets or anything. But NFL on the side of the bags when you're handing out food, anything like that.
When I see things, it's usually like them in the suburbs doing some type of thing.
Yeah,
like,
in a rich suburb, nice area.
Like, man, you ain't nowhere near in the city where these kids can see you and
they can't make
be
any
inspired.
excuse because the police would make sure it's secure. You know, the NFL would have their security staff. Yep, they should be popping up on more inner city schools, you know, and doing stuff like that, man. You know, and bringing joy to those kids. NASCAR is doing a better job of this at this point than the NFL. Ace, before you go, I want to say Creeper, he said, y'all know how this works. Color has nothing to do with it. We do Sambo type things. He said AI is a real thing. We need to watch out for that. He said the Bears won a dome. Bears sucks. GM is garbage. Wait. Foles is garbage?
Foles is not
Kidding
garbage.
me? Yeah, I'm going to disagree. You got to pull up saying stuff like that, DJ Creeper. You're going to have to pull up. You can just typing that in the chat.
Yeah.
Faithful to the bat, he said Wrigglefield and Sambo. All right, big ups to DJ Creeper. All right, Diesel, yeah, great final words, man. And Ace?
Yeah, well, my final words as far as the NFL is concerned and the leverage of the Super Bowl on the NFL or the big game on the Super Bowl on the NFL season. Yes, more boots on the ground and interaction with the players and the community is needed. No, none of the Bears live in my neighborhood or choose to live in my neighborhood or the neighborhood of the community that needs their help. And most of these cities, but the organization has to do what it takes to help the city. The Bears have a coat drive yearly for the community as far as giving out coats to those that need them. Leo High School is uh, in hand with the Bears organization as far as greeting the the players of our Leo High School team, and inviting them out to Hallis Hall uh, and to training camp to work with some of the players and the youths of our school that's in the inner city. But the organizations of the city uh, have to reach out to these teams, have to put these teams under the carpet of helping the communities. Maybe it's, with CPS or teams on the west side or the south side of Chicago. You got to go in there and reach out to these organizations and hold them to task that they need to help the youth of the city of Chicago or the city of Kansas City, or all of these different cities that the NFL are embedded in, that you have to make them bring you into the NFL and that web of money and conglomeration, and put us out there as far as helping the kids and the families and the non-for-profits that are in these particular cities that need their help and need their influence on helping the youth of the United States of America, the youth of the city of Chicago, or the youth of Detroit, and if you hold them to the fire, hold them to the point that we need more inclusion as far as the restaurant, as far as different non-for-profits, different organizations, and ownership in the NFL. Maybe it'll come into fruition this day, but if we're not talking about it, we're not having meetings about it, if we're not holding the entire NFL, the league, different countries that games are being proposed in for people of color, then what is their incentive to do it? If it, just entertainment at halftime is not the end all and be all of us being part of the NFL. We need part ownership. We need part ownership of the craft services. We need part ownerships in the, making the footballs, supplying the stadiums with different, soft drinks or snacks or whatever it is that makes the NFL run. If we're not part of that economic commerce, then what are we really doing besides, entertaining and shucking and jiving during the NFL big game halftime? So we need to be involved in the daily operations of the NFL and the teams that represent our cities. And once we get a part of that, once we get part of ownership of a team or several teams in the NFL, which we're not a part of now, past the 1% ownership of a Magic Johnson or the Serena and Venus Williams of the world, once we get to, owning a majority stake in one of these teams or majority stake in one of these stadiums, why can't we build a stadium or parking structures or just, like I said, commerce that the NFL is a part of, then we can have a say in, maybe a halftime show or the vendors of the NFL or the vendors of the big game. So that's my take in it. I just went to the NFL experience of being at a Super Bowl, and I see that we're not economically involved in this big show, the marketing, any part of the big game. So until we economically are part of the NFL in a whole, then we're just dancing at halftime. We're just shucking and jiving. We're just, being part of the show, and we want to be part of the show business. So that's my future take on what the NFL can do for the community, for people of color, for the black, brown, yellow, green, whatever part of America that we want to be, associated with. we need to be part of the economic show business of what the NFL is. And once we're part of that, then I'll be satisfied in supporting the NFL and the big show that they put on at the end of the year. So that's my final word.
Yeah, that's well said, bro. And yeah. Yeah, NFL. Let's get some discounted tickets going. Huh?
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
10,000, 20,000, 50,000 for a ticket. Are you, are
Man,
you, are you kidding me?
have a lottery for reduced rate tickets, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Let's do stuff like that, NFL. Y'all could do it. Y'all can afford it. It won't hurt your pockets.
Yeah, I think the face value of a ticket might be like $700,000, $800,000, but
Yeah.
when they're on the open market for 7,000, 10,000, 25,000, $50,000 to sit
Parking three,
50 yards.
400. Are you kidding me?
Parking,
But but
parking.
but Ace, this time is a good time to recycle your dollars. Like one thing, rather than boycott, like, we as a people have to be more focused minded, like we were talking about in the pre-show, capitalizing off of it, not
Yeah,
necessarily gouging, but finding a way, okay, it's the Super Bowl, our people love it. Let's start opening up sports bars in our communities, and stuff like that, and
yeah,
capitalizing on these types of events. As you're ordering food for the big game, go to the local Black restaurants and stuff like that, and
absolutely.
and Black companies start having Super Bowl specials and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead,
just
bro.
like just like with the Olympics, when the Olympics come to whatever city that they're in, they build infrastructure as far as who's going to feed the athletes, who's going to house the athletes, and where the stadiums are. These events are going to take place. The Super Bowl should be just as economically entrenched in these communities every year, that they're going to have the big game every year that is moved
Yeah,
around to, that you should make an economic impact on those cities,
yeah,
for those people that need it. And
yeah.
that's easy to do every year.
And we should be able to capitalize on that. Like you mentioned, the Black players, like get former Black players, like the way my boy L Boogie on his podcast, he reached out and had Matt Forte on the show. So imagine if you got if the local sports bar cleaned up, stopped being such a complete dive shithole, and not all the places are like that, but just hooked it up a
Yeah,
little bit, bro. And then maybe you get a Matt Forte in there during Super Bowl week. The next year you got another person, you pay him. There's ways we can start capitalizing off of it, bro.
absolutely.
Since we're gonna spend our money. Um, I did get a text. DJ Creeper said the players are sheep in all leagues. Sad. Sign on the dotted line. Now shut up and play. Bears don't want to pay JF1 because it's stats. But when you watch the game, stats don't really fly till game is over. Even as far as GOATs are concerned, stats are for nerds watching the games. We grew up on getting home to catch the games. I think he meant not watching the games.
Mhm.
This topic was addressed, and the Black reporter kept asking Goodell, and they didn't allow him in the Super Bowl press meeting this year. Racist
Mm,
shit. It's on
mm,
YouTube. Wow.
I got you. I
Yeah,
believe it.
Goodell, yeah. He looks like the type of guy that couldn't look you in the eyes when you meet him, and then when he shakes your hand, it'll be kind of,
Limp and wet.
yeah, and he turned a little red. They get a
Yeah,
little, yeah, he looks like one of those. I'm not saying I know what's in his heart.
yeah. We don't know what's inside.
No, not at all. We don't
Yeah,
know what's in his heart, but we know, and we don't know what's in majority of the owners' hearts. But we know they're behind him, and they keep renewing his contract, and he's getting
absolutely.
paid more than Stephen A. Smith.
Absolutely.
You know, so yeah, my final words. That was it, bro. That's all I had. I mean, it's just something really to think about. Uh, I mean, you can. I think Diesel mentioned it. It's really a discourse on the so-called Black experience in America, bro. You could be miserable and not get involved, like in anything. I know people like they're not just Jehovah's Witnesses. They might not even believe in God, but they don't celebrate Christmas. They don't have TVs, They don't watch football. I mean, you know what I mean? You know, the kids are playing cricket and rugby. Oh, he's just different, huh? Yeah, we don't do none of that American shit.
Different. Just different.
They playing soccer, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I get it, man. It's America, to me, it's a bitter pill. I'll put it that way. It's a bitter pill. Yeah, but Ace, that's all I got, man. Unless you had anything else.
No, I'm just recovering from my big game experience. We're definitely gonna get into something next week. I guess we got to start talking about basketball. We could have talked about that All-Star Saturday night that happened last night, but that was.
Did the game already happen?
I think they're gonna play it this evening. Oh. But historically, I never watch it. Yeah. But we'll see.
Did LeBron pick his team?
Oh, is that how that goes? Yeah, it's like that for I don't watch
cares.
It. Yeah.
Steph
beat the young lady, man.
Yeah. But she was shooting from the NBA range. But she had the girl-sized ball. Hey, listen, out of total, listen. First of all, you're not drop dead gorgeous. And big ups to her. Everything about her game. You know, you're a dog out here on the court, but if you're gonna do it the man's way, you're gonna use the regular ball, or else get up there.
Yeah, she could shoot though. But yeah, she was using the WNBA ball, but
that has to be mentioned. You guys want to come out here and be simps? You can be simps. You know what I mean?
But
the ball is smaller. I'm a shooter. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
The rim is a certain size. If the ball is smaller, it's more likely to go through the rim. Does anybody not understand this but me?
It was like shooting through the milk crates back in the day with a
with a softball.
Yeah.
Or a tennis ball. So. Yeah. I'm not taking nothing away. You know what I mean?
She's a shooter, and I'm sure she could probably shoot with the big ball, but it's gonna differentiate her numbers as opposed to.
She would be Klay Thompson. Speaking of Klay Thompson, Golden State, I'd like to trade you our high yellow. Of course, he's pretending to be hurt. Boy, I'd trade our high yellow for Klay Thompson. Boy, hurt.
In a minute, I get him out there. And, if you want to play, we can get you going. We can get you out there to Golden State right away. We just need you to play a couple weeks.
Hey, they said your boy LeBron. There was some talk about him going to Golden State, bro, and taking his talents and chasing trophies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
And he didn't show up to Kobe's statue unveiling.
No, he didn't. Yeah, he wasn't in Indianapolis last night for the. I don't know where he was at.
Kobe's statue unveiling. This guy.
Yeah, a year ago, and you played for the Lakers.
And you knew Kobe. And you played for the Lakers.
Yeah.
That's just the type of douchey stuff that, and then he'll say things where I want to see my son play. Well, you're 39 years old, retire.
Yeah. And your son plays about, 15 minutes from Hollywood? Yeah.
But I'm saying retire.
Yeah. It's time to retire.
I'm saying that's why most people retire when they start saying things like, I want to see my kids play and my grandkids.
I want to take my son to school.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to drop the grandkids off at the nannies.
Yeah.
That's coming real soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be at the hospital where Bronny's girls had a baby, and I missed a game. I wanted to be at the hospital for the birth of my dude. For the birth of your grandbaby, retire.
Yeah, he still got some game in him. That's why he's still playing.
Well, yeah, he spends $1 million a year on flaxseed oil and what do you call it? Deer antler spray.
Deer antler spray. Yeah.
Got a compression suit that he got from what's his name? Ride the bike. Said he wasn't cheap. Nike gave him a lot of. Yeah, Lance Armstrong. Yeah, Lance Armstrong. Riding past everybody uphill.
Eyes closed.
I train better than everybody. I have better equipment.
Yeah.
I got a better nutritionist. Nigga, you on that shit. And they should have tested him for meth. I bet you he wasn't just on steroids. He had a cocktail with meth, boy, before he went up that hill.
Steroids and the deer antler spray and all.
He pulled out that little meth pipe riding on it.
Man, it's like I'm fucking flying.
Here comes
Yeah, you are.
Here he comes. Yeah, pick up some Lance Armstrong. Nobody said he cheated. He had cancer of the balls. Didn't he get cancer?
Yeah. They fixed that with the deer antler spray.
The deer antler spray. All right, yeah. So we'll get into stuff.
Yeah. Next week.
Catch the Self Love Show. You know, it's on Tuesdays. We're live. And Ace, I pretty much set my own schedule, so we can whatever schedule works for you. We don't necessarily have to do this at the we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
All right.
Yeah, that's cool. Anytime you want. Like, share, subscribe though.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe. All right, so if you find yourself sliding through the second city, which is a misnomer, you might be on LSD, smoking your tree. Look at the lakefront. Oh, slow down and go 12 over there. The only place in the city where they write speeding tickets. Only when you're coming from the south side, head north. They don't get you in the other direction. Small ups to 12. You might be out in Inglewood in Cali. Better keep your head on a swivel. Better watch your back. Better check your 6. Look at that blind spot. Things in the mirror closer than they appear.
Mouthpiece included.
Guard your grill.
Better guard your grill.
Knuckle up.
Wise guy, huh? Mouthpiece included.
And don't forget to.
Don't forget it, baby.
Guard your grill.
And don't forget to.
Mouthpiece.
They got him with his Ray charm. And don't forget to bring your mouthpiece.
Mouthpiece included.